Sports Channel presents Phillies Baseball. Tonight, live from Mile High Stadium in Denver, the Phillies take on the Colorado Rockies. Good evening, everyone. I'm Andy Musser with Kent DeColby. 6 weeks ago, when the Phillies called up the rookie shortstop Kevin Stocker, they told him, play good defense. If we get any offense from you, it'll be a bonus. Well, Teak, last night, there was a bonus.
There was a bonus, a big three-run homer by Kevin last night. At the time, it looked like it was just add-on runs, but as the game went on, those 3 runs became very important. Phillies win by a score 10-7, a little tenuous in the end, but the big 3-run shot by Kevin counted a lot in that ball game. He's made a couple adjustments in his swing. The league made the first adjustment. He's made one now, right back on track, sign of a very intelligent young player.
Says he feels very, very comfortable at the plate right now, and he looks it. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineups in just a moment.
When you work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2, how you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
When good just isn't good enough.
Hey, that's super premium. Do you really think you need that high in octane for your car?
I don't know, but I do know this. I feel my car runs better on premium, and I have other things to worry about.
You don't take any chances, do you?
I figure if I put the best in, I'll get the best out.
So when good just isn't good enough for you, experience our best. Fly with the new superpower, Citgo.
Phillies Baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush. By Sherwin-Williams Paint Stores. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, a participating sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. By Texaco. Save up to $5 by joining Texaco's Frequent Fueler Club. Visit your local participating Texaco location for all the details. Texaco, star of the American Road. By Coca-Cola, Phillies baseball and Coca-Cola. Always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Cento Fine Italian Foods, the company that says trust your family with our family. By Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. Personal choice. The health plan that controls costs, not people. Denver, Colorado, a beautiful stadium. There's the stallion that it sits atop the scoreboard way out there in right field. And the Colorado Rockies will call this their home for one more year. Let's check the Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Phils. Len Dykstra leads off in center. Mariano Duncan plays second. John Kruk is the first baseman. Dave Hollins plays third. Darren Dalton the catcher. Jim Eisenreich in right field. Milt Thompson in left field. Kevin Stocker the shortstop. Tommy Green on the mound.
Defensively for Don Baylor's Colorado Rockies this evening, Gerald Clark at first base, Roberto Mejia at second, Freddie Benavides at short, and Charlie Hayes at third. Eric Young is in left with Chris Jones in center, Dante Bichette in right field. Joe Girardi does the catching, and pitching tonight for the Rockies, Mose Sanford.
We'll be back with the start of the game in just a moment.
Any professional painter will tell you that if you want results like these, you gotta know the tricks of the trade. You gotta ask Sherwin-Williams. Now, these are guys you can trust. They've got good paint, good price, good advice. Guaranteed. Want to know something? I didn't paint this house. The guy that lives there did. Hey, fella, nice job. This guy knows what the pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
This Dodge Dakota Sport comes with the Magnum V6, automatic, rear anti-lock brakes, and a price under $11,500. Cutting your choice of trucks down to one. Dodge.
So don't miss the 93 model clearance now at your nearest Dodge dealer. Now save up to $13.57 on Dodge Caravans, including air conditioning at no extra charge. So cut yourself in for great savings at the 93 model clearance now at your nearest Dodge dealer.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
When it comes to performance in cars both new and old,
With System 3, I can get great performance from Beacon Hill to Beverly Hills.
count on every grade of Texaco System 3.
Don't try it with any other gasoline.
I wouldn't.
Who asked you?
Set to go with Lenny Dykstra leading it off for the Phils. He started last night's ball game with a hit, and Lenny wound up scoring 3 times before the night was over. He leads all the major leaguers with 110 runs scored, batting at an even 300. Mo Sanford on the hill for the Rockies. He takes a strike. Talking with Larry Bernarth before the game, Teak, Sanford, he says, can rush it up there.
Yeah, Sanford's a power pitcher, and as Larry mentioned, he gets a lot of strikeouts early in the game, but as he goes on, his mechanics seem to deteriorate on him, and as the game progresses, you will look for more and more walks and Sanford to start scattering the ball all around the strike zone and out of it.
Back through the middle, Dykstra starts the second game of the series just like he did the first one. Base hit up the middle.
What's new? Lenny's on again.
He stole a base in the first inning last night, his 30th of the year. Lenny is 6th in the league in stolen bases. And here's a guy who's been getting his hits, Mariano Duncan, batting at .281 with hits now in 13 of the last 14 games. And he has really hurt the Rockies, batting .417 against Colorado. We should also mention that the Rockies turned 3 infield double plays last night. They're set for one right here. Sanford steps off. The Phillies faced Sanford once before. That was in 1991. He was wearing a red uniform at that point. He's from Americus, Georgia, 25 years of age. Just a lob toss to first. Got Gerald Clark playing the bag over there again tonight. I talked to the big cat, Andres Galarraga, before the game. He expects to be back Sunday, but probably only as a pinch hitter initially. He's out with a bad knee right now. And of course, he's in the run for the batting chase, so the Expos are really anxious to get Galarraga bat. He's hitting .392. Duncan takes it high, 1-0 on Mariano. Sanford was the Reds' 32nd round draft choice back in 1988. Actually, he'd been drafted 3rd by the Yankees in 1984. He chose not to sign. He went to the University of Alabama and played college baseball for Alabama for 4 years. Lenny trying to get those legs loosened up. Grass and dirt here. They had a football game here Monday night. They've got another one scheduled for Friday night. The Pope was here last week. There's never a dark moment at Mile High Stadium.
And a consequence of all that action here at the stadium is this field has taken a beating, and you know, it looks pretty good on the TV set, but out there on the field, there are some chunks in that infield. Football has torn it up a little bit, and then with all the people out on the field during the Pope's appearance here, the field has taken pretty much of a beating, and I would imagine by Saturday, by the time they play a doubleheader with the Mets, it's going to take even more of a beating with another football game on Friday night.
Well, Sanford has made 4 or 5 tosses to first base. He's made only 1 to Mariano Duncan. Joe Girardi looks in the dugout and says, "What's next?" Birthday greetings to Ed Berry. He's the front desk man at Veterans Stadium. Wish Ed a happy birthday. 2 balls and no strikes on Mariano. We have a temperature here of 70 degrees at game time tonight. It was 85 at the start of the game last night, so that's a considerable difference here, and weather can change here in a hurry.
Another throw to first by Sanford. If nothing else, it proves that he did pay attention last night during the first inning of the ball game. He wasn't just sitting on the bench eating sunflower seeds. He was watching, remembers that Dykstra did steal a base.
Duncan fouls it back. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Duncan. Kruk will be on deck. Sanford was brought to the major leagues on July 29th. He had started the year at Colorado Springs after being in spring training with the Rockies. At Colorado Springs, he was 3-6 and a 5.23 earned run average, but he did specialize in the strikeout. He had 104 and 105 innings. Over his minor league career, he has averaged actually better than 1 inning, 9.7 per 9 innings. Dykstra safe.
And in his brief time here with the Rockies this year, he has pitched 17 innings, has 17 strikeouts, so he's keeping that ratio up. That's the good news. The bad news is with those 17 strikeouts, he's also walked 14 men.
Now that's got to be tiresome for the hitter, standing there as Mariano is, waiting to get some pitches here and seeing most of the balls go over to first base.
Mariano, of course, the type of guy that likes to get in the box and swing the bat.
Got a breaking ball and he pops it up. Shallow right field. Long run for Bichette, who is playing him as a pull hitter. Second sacker goes out. Mejia makes the play in foul territory for the out. That was a nice ranging catch by Roberto Mejia.
Mejia going a long way. As you mentioned, Bichette not even in the picture. The Rockies have a tendency on right-handed hitters, Bichette told me the other day, to play everybody toward the gap. They almost leave the right field corner open on every right-handed hitter, figuring that that area out there is so big, he has to cover one or the other areas. They cover the gap, and they really do leave a lot of the right field line open.
Well, you bring up a good point. Something has to be left open, so you have your options, and it's just too big for 3 outfielders here. John Kruk batting at .338. John with the 3rd best batting average in the league. 10 homers, 62 runs batted in, and another throw checking Lenny back. Lenny has given no indication of running so far. Transplanted Philadelphian James McCauley from the ARA services, working here at the ballpark, stopped by to say hello prior to the game. Sanford steps off. Ran into another transplanted Philadelphian, James Mayo, and he's here at the ball game tonight. Grew up in Philadelphia following the Phils, and Girardi's going to go to the mound. Girardi is just off the disabled list. He had the same injury that sidelined Dave Hollins, except in Girardi's case it kept him out almost 2 months. Don Baylor, first-year skipper. More people are going to watch Don Baylor manage this year than any major leaguer in history, because their attendance is going to set a record. They're on a pace to draw 4.7 million.
Sanford's ratio now is about 3-to-1, throws to first base to throws to the plate.
Kruk takes it high. Maybe Lenny should put an end to this by stealing second, huh?
I can guarantee there's probably somebody down in that Philly dugout yelling the infamous words, if you want to warm up, go back to the bullpen. Don't do it out there on the mound.
And Gerald Clark, being more of an outfielder than a first baseman, is probably one of them that wishes he'd throw to the plate more frequently. 2-0 now on Kruk. He's getting behind hitters, although he was ahead of Dykstra when Lenny singled, but he got behind Duncan, and now he's behind Kruk.
When you throw that many times to first base, you really do have your attention divided, and you need to have your attention focused completely on home plate, especially a guy who has a history of control trouble. This is just a matter of by the time he gets around to throwing the ball to home plate after 3 or 4 tosses to first base, a minute or a minute and a half has gone by since the last time he made that move, and muscle memory does not remember that long.
Another pitch that misses. 3-0 on Kruk. Infielders standing around, and they don't like it. I mean, look at them. I mean, everybody just kind of gets back on their heels, and Don Baylor has talked to his team about this. He tries to encourage his pitchers to work more quickly, but he's got a couple of them now that just haven't gotten the message yet.
And I'll tell you what, fielders do hate that. They get out there, they get on their heels, and the result of that is you will not get good defense played behind you when you pitch at this pace.
Rio coming to Kruk. He walked him, and the Phillies have 2 on with 1 out. Kruk draws his 91st walk. John is 4th in the league in receiving 3 passes. And Dave Hollins steps in now with 2 on, 1 out.
So after all that work to keep Dykstra close at first base, he didn't have to steal second. Sanford has just moved him down there without any attempt at all by Dykstra. Larry Bernarth now going to make a trip to the mound. We've had a lot going on, but a little going on here in the first inning so far.
Well, that's a good way to put it. Jeff Jackson of the Reading Phils hit a grand slam last night, and it turned out to be the winning blow as the Phils beat Harrisburg 4-3. The Phils were trailing 3-0 in the 7th inning. Jackson hit that slam. Talked about the fact that Galarraga is here working out. Here's the cat in the batting cage tonight, and you can see him limping just a little bit. It's going to be questionable now whether he has enough plate appearances to win the batting title.
Don Baylor has already stated that he's going to hit him up in the lineup, trying to get him more plate appearances.
Yeah, they plan to bat him second when they are able to put him in the everyday lineup. Hollins takes a breaking ball for a strike. Sanford has a curveball and a slider, which he uses sometimes, also a straight change. But basically, he's known for getting it up there. Fastball. Dave, 280, 13 homers, 72 runs batted in. Breaking ball misses this time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it appears as if Bernard's message to Sanford was pick up the pace, because now he's getting the ball and getting right back up on the rubber, not lollygagging around the mound and spending a whole lot of time.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Another curveball. He's given Hollins 3 straight breaking pitches. 2-1. Jose De Jesus started last night for the Clearwater Phillies, and he took the loss against Lakeland 4-3. De Jesus is 1-5. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs. Ball 3, 3-1. The crowd getting a little restless here at Mile High Stadium. Tentative start for Mo Sanford. He was just inserted into the pitching rotation here recently. In fact, we didn't find out until right prior to the game last night that he was even going to pitch tonight. They had Willie Blair listed for tonight. Ball 4. The bases are loaded with Phillies. A single and 2 walks have them loaded. 1 out. Well, they've made their visit to the mound. There's nobody up in the bullpen. Sanford's going to have to get some outs. They're going to make a call to the bullpen, though. That's the bear on the phone.
Well, the Phillies all year long have been very good about taking the walks and giving the opposition a chance to get themselves in trouble. A guy like Sanford, who is not around the plate all that much anyway, he's going to be hurt by the fact that the Phillies are that patient at the plate.
Darren Dalton takes a curveball for a strike. Dalton had a home run against Sanford back in '91 when he faced him when Sanford was with the Reds. Kurt Leskanik, a right-hander, is up in the bullpen for the Rockies. Fouled away. Teak, when you're a relief pitcher and they ask you to warm up in the first inning, it kind of lets the world know where you stand in the scheme of things, doesn't it?
Yeah, it means you're pretty far down the line. You don't really have a designated role. You are the most available guy at the time.
And we're talking here about a 12-man staff.
Put you way down the line. You don't get real comfortable when you're on the ball club in that position, because it's a pretty good indicator that if a move is made, you might be the first one they're considering moving.
He's ahead of Dalton, 0-2. That's high. Darren Dalton, second in the league in RBIs with 87, second in the league in walks, 94. He's been on a tear, batting .400 over the last 4 ball games. Way inside, almost hit him. It's 2-2. Traveling with the Phillies on this trip, Kevin Conrad and Phil Sheridan, clubhouse guys, and Anthony Fanuta and Craig Marquis, the Bat Boys. They're all enjoying themselves here in the Mile High City, and they'll be going along with the Phils down to Houston as well. Dalton sends a drive down the right field line. Foul ball. Down past the bullpen. Still 2-2 on Darren. A chance for an explosive first inning. The bases are loaded. There's just 1 out. And there's no doubt that Mo Sanford is feeling the heat. grounded foul. Speaking of grounding foul, there is a lot of foul room in this ballpark. You'll see quite a few balls caught in foul territory here. But still, with the light air and with the huge ballpark, it is a hitter's stadium. Colorado Rockies, just to give you an example, are batting .306 in their home games. That leads the major leagues. And we're talking about an expansion team. Sanford strikes out Dalton. Off-speed pitch, he gets him. Second out of the inning.
After a couple of fastballs in, Girardi sitting on the outside corner. Sanford with the breaking ball gets it down and on the inside part of the plate. A mistake by Sanford, but the change of speeds had Dalton out in front, not able to put the bat on the ball. So now there are 2 outs.
Jim Eisenreich batting at .331. Eisenreich had a 3-hit ball game last night. He takes ball 1. He has been so steady for the Phillies and such a valuable addition to this ball club. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Low, 2-0 on Eisenreich. Jim will rarely swing at a bad pitch.
And what we have seen so far from Stanford is the fact that almost every pitch that he's getting over is the breaking ball. Has thrown very few fastballs, 4 strikes.
Missed there with a fastball. 3-0. Now he's really in a hot tub of water. No room for Eisenreich. Ball 4. Phillies lead 1-0 as Dykstra scores. 3 walks in the inning by Mo Sanford.
And none of those pitches to Eisenreich anywhere near the strike zone. Don Baylor has seen a lot of that this year from his Rockies pitchers. They have the highest earned run average in the league as a staff. Still, with this young ball club, he's trying to figure out, where he's going to be next year, who his pitchers are going to be, who can be his potential starters and relievers. Has a lot of decisions to make.
Milt Thompson, .255, 4 home runs, 39 RBIs. Phillies ahead 1-0, and Thompson takes a breaking ball for a strike. That's a good observation, Teak. He's getting the breaking ball over, but not his ace, and of course he counts on that fastball. In the air and foul, left field side. No balls and 2 strikes on Thompson. Incaviglia played left field for the Phillies last night. 25-year-old Mo Sanford in first inning trouble, but should he retire Thompson, I guess he could consider it almost a moral victory to get out of this with just 1 run. Now he wants Girardi to go through the signs. Pitch missed. 1-2. That's Ed Rapuano calling balls and strikes tonight. Foul back, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Thompson. Stocker on deck. Phillies have sent 7 batters to the plate as we check out Rapuano. He didn't swing, did he? No, no swing. Appeal to Randy Marsh at third. No swing. It's 2-2. What do you think?
We'll take a look at it right here. Oh, very borderline. Watch Joe Girardi make an alert play here. Instead of tagging, well, we didn't see it right there. Instead of tagging Thompson, he picked the ball up and just stepped on the plate.
Well, Mo Sanford strikes him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but the Phillies have a run on just 1 hit, 3 walks, and the bases left loaded. Phillies 1, Rockies coming up.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of beer.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
It says Belle of Pennsylvania on the front.
Right.
It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you tell a genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
The Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Rockies. Eric Young plays left. Joe Girardi, the catcher. Chris Jones in center. Dante Bichette in right. Charlie Hayes at third. Gerald Clark at first. Freddie Benavides, the shortstop. Roberto Mejia at second. And Mo Sanford, the pitcher.
Defensively for the Phillies this evening, John Kruk at first base. Mariano Duncan at second. Kevin Stocker at short. And David Hollins at third. Milt Thompson is in left field with Lenny Dykstra in center and Jim Eisenreich in right. Darren Dalton doing the catching this evening, and on the mound, 26-year-old right-hander Tommy Green. Tommy's last start was this past Thursday against Montreal at the Vet. That was his first start since coming off the disabled list with that strained right groin muscle. In that ball game, he got a no decision, pitching 4 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Talking to Johnny Padres before the game, he was telling me that he said he really felt that Tommy was just overthrowing in that ball game, and it's a natural thing to do after you've been out for a while. Overthrowing was up in the strike zone, needs to get himself back together and get his rhythm and timing together and get the ball back down in the strike zone against the Rockies this evening. He has pitched against the Rockies twice this year, 2 pretty good ball games. On May 31st here at Mile High Stadium, he pitched a 6-hit game, winning 18-1. June 4th, pitched a 7-hitter against the Rockies, another complete game, winning at 6-2 at the Vet. So he's had some luck against the Rockies, and the Phillies have had a lot of luck this year when Tommy's on the mound. The games that Tommy has started, the ball club is 18-3.
Eric Young to lead it off, batting at .256. The last time the Phillies saw Young, he was a second baseman. He is now an outfielder. Young with 1 homer, 28 runs batted in. He and Lenny Dykstra, the club's 2 leadoff men here in this ball game, each have the same number of steals, 30. Ball and a strike on Young. Last night, Don Baylor, against a right-handed pitcher, had 2 left-handed batters in his lineup, the only 2 he has. Tonight, both those left-handed batters are on the bench. Darrell Boston and Alex Cole. 2-1.
I was talking to Jeff Kingery, one of the announcers for the Rockies. He was telling me Baylor really doesn't have a system to when he uses Cole and Boston. He just kind of moves them in and out.
That ball went up to the top of the screen, went through the screen, and just rolled down the back of it.
Some youngster sitting in the front row just dropped right down in his lap.
Right. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, didn't even have to work for that one. Just kind of fell right in his lap.
Oh, man, that's the greatest seat in the house. Looper, right field side. It is a foul ball into the Rockies bullpen. When you're an outfielder in this ballpark, Tick, you're going to get some running in.
Well, you're going to get some running in, and it's interesting. I'm talking to John Vukovich. All those years that he was with the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field, and we'll get to it in a minute after this pitch. Interesting way the Phillies play defense in this ballpark.
It's a 2-2 count here on Eric Young. Full count.
Vuk was telling me that, his experience from Wrigley Field was when the wind is blowing out, most clubs come in and their outfielders play deep. Not the way to do it.
Here's Dykstra fell down, but he recovers and makes the catch. Lenny went right down on his hands, but was able to catch the liner off the bat of Eric Young for the out.
Ball hit almost directly at Dykstra, just slipped down, came right back up. But what Vuk was saying is, if you play back, you allow those little dunkers to fall in front of you. Here, as we see Lenny recovering and getting back on this ball, in this ballpark, he says you're better off to play in, cut off the little dunkers in front of you, balls especially in left field that are going to go over your head or going out of the ballpark anyway. So the Phillies play much shallower in this ballpark than most ball clubs.
Speaking of the Cubs, Joe Girardi, ex-Cub catcher, is here, batting .276 with a homer, 20 runs batted in. Girardi 5 for his last 14. He's just off the DL. This is only the 5th game that he's been back. Tommy misses with a curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One other side benefit of playing the outfielders in this ballpark is it closes down the distance between them. A little more difficult to get the ball up the alleys.
Look out. Almost hit. 2-1. The key thing for Tommy Green in those 2 complete game victories against the Rockies, he did not walk a batter in either game. Now the 18-1 game, the one was a home run by Galarraga. It looked like the Phillies were going to get 2 shutouts here. If you recall, the last time they were here, Terry Mulholland did pitch a shutout. Then the following day, Tommy lost his late in the ball game on that Galarraga homer. The 2-2 to Girardi is inside. It's a full count on the Rockies catcher.
You have to remember the game Terry pitched was a game we had here on Sports Channel. Not a fly ball out in that entire game. All the outs were recorded either in the infield or infield pop-ups.
Fouled away.
Or, of course, strikeouts.
Yeah.
And also, that was the game Terry was coming off the foot injury, and there was a lot of question about how well he was going to be able to pitch in that ball game, and he tooled up at Jim.
I talked with Terry this morning, and he says he's feeling much better. He'd been, a little under the weather and kind of like just a combination of aches and pains, but he'll be pitching Saturday in Houston. Girardi draws a walk. So there's the first walk that Green has given to the Rockies in 19 innings. There's Terry. On Saturday, he'll be on the hill for the Phillies at the Astrodome, and he'll be opposed by Doug Drabeck. Here's Chris Jones. Jones batting at .303. Jones has 5 homers, 26 RBIs. On June 6th at Veterans Stadium this year, he had a pair of 2-run home runs against the Phillies. Hit one off Curt Schilling, the other off Tim Mauser. Very open stance for Jones. Late swing and a miss. Well, the papers here are carrying the Rockies' tragic number. Phillies fans are following the magic number. Here they have a tragic number, and it's 8. Combination of giant victories and losses by the Rockies to eliminate them. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And we're seeing early in this ballgame, Tommy is spraying the ball around a little bit. Much the same problem that he had the last time over at Veterans Stadium against Montreal. Again, after having been on the disabled list, trying to get that rhythm and timing back in order. Hopefully, as this game goes on, he'll be able to pick it up and just keep improving inning for inning.
Jammed him. Out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chris Jones. Jones 1 for 5 in previous at-bats off Tommy Green. One thing, when Green's on the hill, the Phillies usually give him a lot of run support. The Phillies have scored 6.38 runs per ball game when Tommy's been out there. That's second only to Ben Rivera, who's at 309. Third best on the team is Terry Mulholland. They support him with 5.35 runs. Curt Schilling next with 4.75, and Danny Jackson brings up the rear. Runner going, but the ball is fouled on the right side. When Jackson pitches, the Phillies get 4.69 runs. Still pretty fair run support.
Yeah, so you add together that 6.38 that Tommy gets normally in all his starts. Put that with the fact that the Phillies in Mile High Stadium are averaging just a shade over 12 runs a game in the first 4 ball games, and you look for some offense. Now those kind of numbers aren't going to hold up forever, but it's really nice to think at this point 4 games in this ballpark and you've averaged 12 runs a ball game. No wonder you've won all 4 of them.
Phillies have had 62 hits over those ball games here. Foul out of play. Happy birthday to Bernie Goldberg of Northeast Philadelphia. Celebrates number 70 today. Judge Wayne G. Hummer Jr. celebrating a birthday. Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Foul ball, and it's still a 1-2 count on Jones. Happy birthday to Al Dichter.
Also Philly fan Bonnie McRae here at the ball game this evening. Wanted to say hello to everybody back home, especially her father Jack.
Runner goes. Check swing foul. Line drive right into the Rockies dugout. Stay loose, boys. Those are dangerous. On the move was Girardi. He's been getting in a little exercise here. Phillies lead this game 1-0. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. That's Jerry Royster, the first base coach. He started out at third base, but they made a change here a couple of weeks ago, and Don Zimmer, longtime big league manager. There's Zim. He's over at third. Strike 3 called. Jones caught looking. Green gets his first strikeout. 2 outs in the inning.
We mentioned earlier Tommy spraying the ball around. Did not spray this one. Perfect location down in the way. You see Dutch put the glove up right in the heart. That's a tough pitch to hit for anybody.
Well, I guess Andres Galarraga's having the best year, but this guy's right behind. Dante Bichette batting at .316, the 9th best average in the league. He has 37 doubles. He leads the NL in 2 base hits. He had one here last night. Girardi at first, 2 outs. Bichette has hit safely in 18 of the last 20 games. Dante's over from the American League. Pretty good outfielder with a great arm, and in fact he is among the league leaders in assists right now. He has a dozen assists from his spot in right field. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, rumor has it that the Phillies are going to open in this ballpark next year, Teak.
It's not a rumor. It's a fact.
And
well, unless this park's full of snow or something, you can't play. But other than that,
that is a possibility, isn't it?
Always a possibility. Of course, heard from a lot of people that it was really nice here in April. So hopefully it'll be that way again next year.
Here's a ball hit to the gap in left center field. It's not going to be caught. Dante Bichette has hit a 2-run home run, and the Rockies lead the Phillies 2-1.
The effects of the light air in this ballpark. Pitch away from Tommy Green. Bichette just reached out and actually hooked the ball, a ball that he would normally hit the other way, but was able to get his hands out in front, hook the ball out into left center field. You see right here, the ball on the outer part of the plate gets extension, does get it in the air, and with that light air, it carried right on out of here, went well past that 366 sign in left center field.
Bichette has his 18th home run. He now has 75 runs batted in. Charlie Hayes looks at a strike. Charlie batting at an even 300. And here's a ball up the middle and a base hit for Charlie Hayes. Second hit of the ball game for the Rockies. So the Rockies get 2 with 2 outs in the inning, and Johnny Padres is trudging to the mound right now.
Padres and Dalton both on the way to the mound. Notice on the home run to Bichette, even though the ball was out away from Bichette, Dalton was setting on the inside part of the plate. So right now Tommy's control, although they're on a couple pitches, particularly the strikeout pitch to Jones, not there every time, and he's been moving the ball around in the strike zone. That pitch to Charlie Hayes was up in the strike zone. We see here Dutch sitting on the inside part of the plate. Watch him reach out away from him. Bichette extends the arms. A ball he would normally try to hit the other way, but he is able to get the head of the bat out in front and hits it well over the screen in left center field, and then bounces back into the first row.
Now the hitter is Gerald Clark, batting at .280. Blocked in the dirt by Dalton, ball 1. Clark with 7 homers, 38 runs batted in. 2-1 Colorado. The Rockies had a lead in last night's ball game as well. Gerald Clark, previously with the San Diego Padres, primarily an outfielder. During Galarraga's absence, they've been playing him at first base. Hayes is safe. Charlie, 10 stolen bases, 14 attempts. That's low. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Clark. Gerald's brother Phil is with the San Diego Padres. Line drive caught by Stocker for the final out of the inning. Was hit so hard it staggered him. The Rockies get 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 left. At the end of an inning, it's 2-1 Colorado.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You know he's not perfect, but on certain days in his life, he has been. The night he poured in 63 points. The time he crushed 3 home runs in the World Series. The day he found Dwight Clark in the end zone. And you wish at some point, at some moment in your life, you could be that perfect too. And that's why you cheer for him. That's why you believe in heroes.
When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. And won't that feel good? Cash 5, all the cash all at once. To win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5 lump sum jackpot, just match 5 of 39 numbers. Any 5 numbers you're attached to. Cash 5, all the cash all at once.
The Phillies will be loaded for bear when they play Sandberg and the Cubs Monday, September 6th at 7:05. And Tuesday through Thursday, September 7th, 8th, and 9th, all at 7:35. Then they'll try to send the Astros into space Friday, September 10th at 7:35, Saturday the 11th at 7:05, and Sunday the 12th at 1:35 when kids 14 and under get a free backpack. Call 463-1000.
Sunday, August 29th, the Phillies meet the Reds, and it's Jacket Day, a great-looking warm-up jacket for all fans 14 and under. It's a blue pullover with the Phillies logo on the front and back, compliments of Acme and Kraft. Make sure you make your plans early. Order your tickets easily by phone. Call 463-1000 or stop by one of the many local Ticketmaster locations. Rockies leading 2-1. Kevin Stocker leads off for the Phillies. He has a 5-game hitting streak, batting .421 during the streak. Stocker slammed a 3-run home run here last night. Takes a strike. Mo Sanford did not have a good first inning. The Phillies let him off the hook a little bit. Now all of a sudden he comes back with a lead. He's a lucky young man.
He is at this point. He's pitched very poorly to this point, yet he's still out in front 2-1.
There he missed with his curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's Stocker, Green, and Dykstra to bat for the Phils here in the second. Stocker sends a high fly ball foul down the right side, out of play. Beautiful setting where this ballpark is, and just beyond where you're looking is McNichols Arena, where the Denver Nuggets play. This is going to be the home of the Rockies for 1 more year. They're building a new park called Coors Field, a little closer to downtown than this one is. Same architects that designed Camden Yards are designing this one. Stocker strikes out, and he held on to it, Girardi did. Stocker ran to first but need not have done so. That's the 3rd strikeout for Sanford. Cento Italian Food Products rooting for the Phillies this season. For every Phillies home run, Cento will donate $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. You can find Cento products in any supermarket. Tommy Green steps in. He hit a home run in this ballpark this year. Tommy hit it off Lance Painter, a left-hander who is no longer with the Rockies. Inside a ball. That one just missed. 2-0. There's one in for a strike. On the scoreboard tonight, it's Boston 5-0 over Chicago. They've played 7 innings, and in that ball game, Danny Darwin has a no-hitter through 7. 2-2 on Tommy Green, who is batting 163. Tommy, a 199 lifetime hitter with 3 major league home runs, all of them off left-handers, incidentally. Here's a bouncing ball in the hole at short. Benavides has it and throws him out. Benavides makes the play. Tommy Green is the second out of the inning. And Lenny Dykstra will come up. Lenny singled and scored back in the first. Lenny with 111 runs scored on a pace to almost reach 150. San Francisco Giants have a 7-4 lead over the Pirates. Pittsburgh batting in the bottom of the 7th tonight. New York Mets are doing some heavy scoring and lead Cincinnati 11-2 after 7 innings. Dykstra takes a strike. Dodgers 4, Atlanta 3, bottom of the 7th. Braves coming into that one with a 8-game winning streak. Florida 1, Houston 1, top of the 5th. San Diego, St. Louis, 0-0 there in the 5th inning. 0-2 on Lenny. This afternoon, the Cubs beat Montreal 2-0.
Sanford, who struggled early in the ball game, here with another one of those breaking balls. Lenny thought it was outside. It appeared that it might have had a chance to be outside, but that one was definitely outside.
Way outside, yeah. Sammy Sosa, another home run today. Sammy's got 29 of them now. Montreal only had 4 hits in that game, lost 2-0. But Hibbert had to be relieved by Randy Myers in the 9th, and then they took Myers out, and Jose Bautista finished it, and Bautista got to save his first. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lenny. Just getting word now that the White Sox Dan Pasqua tripled to center field with 1 out in the 8th inning, and that broke up Danny Darwin's no-hit bid. Two and two on Lenny.
You know, we spend a lot of time talking about all the walks and all the runs that Dykstra has had this year. I think one thing that gets overlooked is the fact that Lenny has played in every ball game this year, started all but one. The last couple of years has had, you know, a lot of injuries, missed a lot of time. This year, able to play every day, and what a difference it has made to the Philly Ball Club, having the spark plug at the top in there every day and contributing.
He has been absolutely magnificent. When you talk about the best leadoff man in the league, you're talking about this guy. And here's an example right here. He was 0-2 in the count, and is now 3-2. And that's Lenny.
And we've seen over the last couple of years, you know, the ball club, for some reason, whatever it is, has much more confidence when Lenny's in the lineup. They really feel that they are a better ball club with him in there, and I believe that's to be true.
Curveball missed with it. Ball 4. Lenny on for the second time, and that is the 4th batter walk by Sanford. Mariano Duncan will bat. He fouled out his first time up. Phillies trail 2-1 in the second. Remember when Dykstra was out there the first time around, Sanford threw over there about 20 times. If I'm exaggerating, it's not by much.
21.
Lenny goes, breaking ball for a strike. Throw is bounced. Lenny's going to go to, no, he decides not to. He'll stay there. Stolen base number 31 for Dykstra.
Lenny with a good jump at first base. Sanford, a big guy, takes him a long time to get rid of the ball, beats the throw easily. Short hops Mejia and goes into center field. Lenny gets up and has a thought for a second of going to third base, but Chris Jones comes in and retrieves the ball quickly, so Lenny decides, well, I'm already in scoring position with 2 outs. I'll stay right here. No use taking a chance.
Duncan hits it hard, but right at Charlie Hayes, and Charlie's going to tag out Lenny. So it's a fielder's choice to the end of the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, no hits, one man left on base. Rockies lead 2-1.
If you're not watching Twin Peaks on Bravo, here's what you're missing.
Hi.
Who are you?
Laura was my cousin.
Laura had secrets. I know who killed Laura Palmer.
Twin Peaks. Fridays at 8 and Sundays at 10. Only on Bravo.
You work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2. How you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
What if someone were to design a car about the size of a Ford Taurus outside, but with more room for people than Taurus or Toyota Camry inside? Someone did. What if someone were to design a car with safety features Taurus and Camry don't give you, like both driver and passenger side airbags standard, or an available integrated child safety seat? Someone did. And what if a prestigious magazine were to name this car Automobile of the Year? One of them did. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
Some of you may have watched our ALS program tonight prior to our coming on here with the Phillies game at Mile High Stadium. And I would just like to remind you again, if you pledge $250 or more, you'll be entered into a raffle to win this 1993 Phillies autographed jersey. So here's the number to call, 463-1000, to make your pledge. You can call right now. Operators are standing by, and you'll be eligible to win this jersey with a pledge of $250 or more. 2-1 Rockies. Benavides leads it off for Colorado. Half swing roller to the mound. Tommy's got him. Benavides is out, one down in the second. Hitters hate it when they get retired on half a swing.
Well, normally it's a case of being fooled by the pitch. Benavides thought he was getting a fastball there, got a breaking ball, tried to check his swing. Turned into be basically what it turned into was a bad bunt right back to the pitcher.
Very bad bunt. Soft. Roberto Mejia, the second baseman. He wants to bunt. That was a foul bunt. Mejia's got some interesting numbers. He's batting .333 here at Mile High, but just .169 on the road. Somewhere along the line, they're going to have to find a way to get him hitting on the road. He loves to hit here. Base hit in front of Lenny. Mejia's got a hit, number 3 for the Rockies in the game, and that'll give Sanford a chance to bunt. Rocky pitcher coming up. He's never had a big league hit. He's 0 for 13 as a big league pitcher, and he has not sacrificed this year either.
Mejia, who does have good speed, has only attempted to steal one time this year in his very short stay with the Rockies. Was thrown out in that attempt. But that good speed will make it very difficult for the Phillies to force him at second base if Sanford's able to get down any kind of a decent bunt.
That's a strike. Came across his bat, so it's strike one on Sanford. The Reading Phillies are trailing Harrisburg tonight 6-2 after 8 innings. Checking Mejia back just to see if he might not leave early, and that was fairly close. Mejia does not have a stolen base, but he's got some speed.
What the runner at first base is trying to do is John Kruk will make a late break toward home plate with Sanford bunting. You try to time when Kruk is going to leave so that you can increase your lead at that point. So far, John's still holding the bag. It's a timing play between the pitcher and the first baseman. You know that on a certain count he's going to leave and start charging for home plate. So if you're going to throw over, you throw over before that count.
Sanford gets it down fair. Green did not look at second. Duncan covers first, and Sanford has a sacrifice. 2 outs in the inning. No, the pitcher does his job.
You mentioned Tommy doesn't even look at second base on that play right there. It's Darren Dalton's job to let Tommy know, because his back is to the runner at second base. Darren calls that play, obviously right away. Once he saw it was a good bunt, knowing Mejia's speed, called first base right away. So Tommy didn't even take a look at second. Just go ahead and make the play at first.
Now Eric Young. He lined out to Dykstra first time up when it was kind of a scary play because Lenny slipped and fell before getting up in time and recovering to make the catch. Low. 2 balls and no strikes on Eric Young. He has 7 triples. He's third in the league in triples. Tommy was pitching great baseball before that strained right groin forced him out. Trying to get it back together again. That's a ball. His record is 12-3, as you know. That's a winning percentage of .800. That's the 3rd best winning percentage in the league. And he gives up hits grudgingly. Opponents are batting only .233 off him. That's the 8th best opponent's batting average figure in the league. Strike. 3-1. Ball 4. Second batter walked by Green. And there are 2 on with 2 outs.
We mentioned the last ball game. Tommy's problems were that he was up in the strike zone a lot. Johnny Padres works with him between starts, but still that rhythm is not quite right yet. We're still seeing a lot of pitches from Green up in the strike zone. Most of the time that he's missing up. A lot of that comes from the fact that, you know, being off for a while, you get a little stronger, you get a little more aggressive, you feel like you can throw the ball harder. And it takes you a little while to get that feel of just taking your time with your body and getting your arm out in front so you can get the ball down and drive it down low in the strike zone. Tommy, when he's most effective, is pitching consistently down around the knees, even though he is a power pitcher.
Girardi takes a strike. Girardi walked and scored in the first inning. Breaking ball just missed. 1-1. Joe Girardi had his first major league hit off the Phillies, and he got it in his first at bat. It was back in '89. He was with the Cubs then, and he singled on opening day off Floyd Yeomans. Punch shot right field. Eisenreich giving chase. Can't get it. It's a foul ball. Lucky for the Phillies that fell foul because it was not going to be caught. Runners on the move. 2 outs. They run on anything. That was going to be trouble.
That's going to be trouble. And the Rockies right now, with Mejia and Young on the bases, have plenty of speed to burn out there. Mejia definitely was going to score, and depending on what happened with that ball in foul territory, a possibility of Young taking a shot at trying to score. But it drops harmlessly foul.
And Girardi broke his bat, so he'll come up there with a new stick. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count on the catcher from Peoria, Illinois. He has a degree in industrial engineering from Northwestern University. He was an academic All-America 3 times at Northwestern, so pretty good guy to have running your ball game. Up the middle, base hit for Girardi. Mejia comes to the plate, Mejia I should say, and he scores. It's 3-1 Colorado. Joe Girardi kills the Phillies with singles up the middle.
Tommy Green, as he delivers the ball to the plate, always falls off to that first base side. Girardi sent the ball right back up through where Tommy had been standing. Once he gets it by Green, it really just splits the middle of the Philly infield. Here you see the ball. Tommy makes that swipe at it behind him, but he's almost right over the second base bag. No way either one of the middle infielders can get anywhere near it. So
the Rockies get a run here with 2 outs. Chris Jones is the batter. He was called out on strikes in the first. 3-1 the Rockies. Strike one on Jones. Runners at first and second now. Chris Jones out of Utica, New York. In 1991, he was on a roller coaster. The Cincinnati Reds called him up to the big leagues 5 different times. Wild pitch. Runners move up a base on a green wild pitch. When you uncork a wild pitch, Teak, I assume it is normally when you're throwing a breaking ball. Is that right?
When you're overthrowing it, you're concentrating so much on getting the ball out there that you see Tommy right there as he's let it go, the reaction. But you're concentrating on getting it out there, and you want to get your arm so far out in front. We talked about getting the ball down. The breaking ball the same way. You have to get out in front. You get it so far out in front that you just drive the ball, as Tommy did right there, right into the ground.
So that makes Jones all the more a key hitter here. They got to get him out, or 2 runs will score. And it's already 3-1 Colorado. So Jones a key man in the scheme of things here. 1 ball, 1 strike on him. Tapper foul, 1-2 now on Jones. Chris Jones has had a lot of playing time since joining the club. He joined the Rockies the last time the Phillies were here. And he's been an almost everyday player since that point. Needless to say, like almost every expansion team, they've done a lot of experimenting here. Players up and down, particularly on the pitching staff. Breaking ball, it's 2-2. They have had all kinds of different pitchers. They've had 14 different pitchers start a game.
Well, as you mentioned, an expansion club, Don Baylor and his coaching staff goes to spring training, really doesn't know what they have. They haven't seen these guys play very much. They're going a lot on scouting reports, a lot of players in camp. So it takes them a while to really sort through and find out who can do what job.
Jam job and a roller to second base. Duncan's got it. Out of the inning with no further damage. The Rockies do pick up a run. They do so with 2 hits and leave 2 men on base. After 2, 3-1 Colorado.
Where to find the mountain man. A mountain man can often be found on the trail of adventure, in search of remote watering holes, or weathering harsh climates. Most often, however, you'll find the mountain man wherever you find smooth bush beer or easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and find yourself in the wide, open world of the mountain man.
If you want your car done right, bring it to a place that puts its money where its mouth is. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, where millions of cars every year are covered by our pledge of satisfaction.
Everybody says they'll do the job right, but at Jiffy Lube, we guarantee it. One more reason, Jiffy Lube is America's favorite oil change.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Once the sighting of an eclipse was considered a rare phenomenon. But today, the Eclipse is the #1 selling import in its class. Now, to help you fully experience it, Mitsubishi is offering an Eclipse lease for as little as $169 a month with $700 down. So rather than search the heavens for an Eclipse, see your Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
You can see and drive an Eclipse at your 3-state area Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
It's the last business person special of the year. Wednesday, August 25th at 12:35. The Phillies play the Rockies, and all fans get a handsome poster featuring all the Phillies pitchers' compliments of Mel and PSFS. Call 463-1000 now.
Saturday, October 30th at 12:10 in the afternoon, college football. The legendary Fighting Irish play the Midshipmen at Veteran Stadium. Order your tickets easily by phone. Call the Phillies at 463-1000. Or stop by the Phillies ticket office at Veteran Stadium. The fun and excitement of college football, sponsored by Super Pretzel Soft Pretzels, Herman's World of Sporting Goods, WOGL, and the Philadelphia Inquirer. It's 3-1 Colorado as John Kruk leads it off for the Phillies. John walked first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike on him.
Sanford, who just struggled tremendously in the first inning, very lucky to get out of it with only giving up the 1 run to the Phillies. Tidied it up just a little bit in the second inning. Did manage to walk 1, but was much more efficient.
That ball's in the dirt, and it looked like it might have gotten Rapparano there for a moment. Well, the Phillies have already left 4 men on base. Kruk had another good ball game here last night. What else is new? On base 3 times, RBI double, single, walk, scored a run. Fly ball for left field. Young is back, and it's gone. That's a typical Colorado home run. The light air. That ball didn't look like it was hit that well at all. But John Kruk has his 11th home run, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
Well, the ball hit a mile high to left field. Kruk gets out in a 2-ball, 1-strike pitch, gets underneath it, hits it high to left field, and initially you would think it was just going to straightaway left field. As you watch Young go back on the ball, here we'll see the pitch first. Kruk sends the ball almost straight up in the air. As Young goes back on the ball, he just keeps drifting and drifting and drifting. Finally moves along the fence and then just looks back into the stands as it drops just barely over that row, over that fence in left field.
Home run number 126 for the Phillies, who lead the National League. Now it's 1-1 on Hollins. Kruk celebrates number 11, and the Phillies have pulled to within 1. It's only the 2nd home run that Sanford has given up. Sanford has pitched now 19 innings for Colorado. The 2-1 pitch to Hollins. Ball 3. Hollins walked first time around.
And over the years, we have seen Kruk hit quite a few of his home runs to left field, but not too many of them with that kind of trajectory on them. That ball just went straight up in the air and then just kept carrying and carrying. John does have power to the opposite field. That was not one of his stronger shots to left field.
Well, that's why in this ballpark, like Wrigley Field, when the wind is blowing out, no lead is safe. You just got to get as many runs as you can. Caught by Clark. Hollins can't hit it much harder than that. He's out on a liner to Clark. Now here's Darren Daulton, who struck out first time around. I mentioned earlier that Daulton hit a home run back in 1991 when Sanford pitched for Cincinnati. Trailing Barry Bonds by 3 for the RBI lead. Big cut. 1 ball, 1 strike on Darren. On the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Missed with a fastball. 2-2. Rockies have an unusual schedule this week. They're going to be off Thursday and Friday. I beg your pardon. Ground ball hit to third. It is a foul ball. They're going to be off Friday only. The Mets are coming in and will be off Thursday and Friday. There's a football game here Friday, and the Mets and the Rockies will play a doubleheader Saturday. But obviously the Rockies aren't off Thursday. They're playing the Phils tomorrow.
It's kind of interesting looking at the Rocky notes. Obviously, the new franchise, the fans are not quite completely in tune yet, because they have a note in here that they have to explain to the fans that if you come to that doubleheader, you only need 1 ticket. You don't need the ticket from the game before that was rained out. You just need the 1 ticket for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, this is going to be their very first home doubleheader here on Saturday.
Fans getting accustomed to how the ticket situation works here in Colorado.
Now the count is full on Daulton.
you imagine somebody back in Philadelphia, if they ask you if they needed 2 tickets for a doubleheader, the kind of reaction you would get?
Yeah. Out of play.
Sitting at home asking your buddy, he says, "No, I'm going to go to this doubleheader tomorrow. Do I need 1 ticket or 2 tickets?" Get kind of a funny stare.
Walked him. Dalton receives a walk. That's the 5th free pass handed out by Sanford, who still has the lead in the ballgame. Dalton takes first. Jim Eisenreich will bat. Eisenreich received a bases loaded walk to get a cheap RBI. First time up there. 3-hit ball game for Jim here last night. Strike. Eisenreich gives it a high ride to deep right center. But it is caught by Bichette. Dalton was all the way at second base, throw coming back to first, and he just does get back. Dalton was at second base on that high drive. Now there are 2 outs. Bichette's got a whale of an arm. He has 12 assists. 3rd in the league.
Darren had gone all the way to second base, waiting to see if that ball was going to drop in. Once it didn't, did scamper back. Probably made the play look a little closer than it had to be at first base. Bichette, that was a long throw for him, but Darren back in safely.
Thompson, the batter, ground ball over the head of Charlie Hayes and a base hit. Dalton stops at second. Young fields the ball in left as Milt Thompson chopped it over the head of Charlie Hayes.
When Milt Thompson hitting the ball well, he's hitting it the other way. Here he gets on top of it a little bit, but hits it down hard into that dirt area at home plate. Charlie Hayes just had to stand and watch it go by. That's Milt Thompson at his best right there, slashing the ball through the left side of the infield and hitting line drives to left.
Here's Stocker, a strikeout victim, first time around tonight. 2 on with 2 outs for the Phillies, who are still a run short. Stocker takes it low. Stocker with a 5-game hitting streak. He's batted .421 during the streak. You know, this road trip for the Phillies brings them here to Colorado and also to Houston, 2 cities where they have not lost a game this year. They were perfect in here the first time around, and ditto in Houston. In fact, Deke, if you'll recall, the Phillies opened their season in Houston. You and I did the first 2 on Sports Channel, or 2 of the first 3, I should say, and that really set the tone for what a year it was going to be.
They really did, because, you know, coming out of spring training, the Astros had high expectations. The additions of Swindell and Drabek, and we saw both of those in that series. And to get off to that start, it just kind of set the tone for the whole year. And the Phillies have been able to just keep building and building on that as the summer has gone on.
Stocker with a good eye, and it's a 3-0 count on him. The pitcher is batting next, but they don't want to move a runner along to third base.
Tommy Green has proven that he can hit the baseball, especially the fastball.
Strike, 3-1 on Stock. With the perspiration pouring off Sanford, and it's not a humid night, and it's not really a warm night. It was only 70 degrees at game time.
No, not nearly as hot and humid as it was last night. Much more muggy last night.
Ground ball, and it's a full count now. So the runners will have a chance to go. Almost looks like somebody squirted him with water. And it's dripping off there.
Yeah, they put it underneath the faucet.
He might have ice cubes in his cap. Stocker gives it a drive. It's going to be a fair ball and not caught. 1 run scores. Here's Thompson heading for the plate. Throw to the plate. Offline. He scores. It's a 2-run double for Stocker. And the Phillies lead the Rockies 4-3. Kevin Stocker with another big hit.
See the pitch from Sanford to Stocker here. He gets it on the inside part of the plate. Stocker able to get it down in the right field corner. Now, he doesn't drive it all the way to the wall, but because of a 3-2 count, Milt Thompson off and running on the pitch at first base. Even Bichette, with that strong arm, gets the ball back in quickly. Mejia's relay to the plate, but because Thompson was on the move, he's already past there.
Here's Tommy Green, 0 for 1 on the game, grounded out to short. Little looper, and Sanford says he'll do it himself. Look out, his first baseman almost cracked into him. Tommy is out, but a good inning for the Phillies. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies get 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits. 1 man left on base. Phillies lead 4-3.
Bravo invites you to experience a powerful film. A tough but tender drama, full of emotion, full of energy.
You break everybody's heart. Everybody who loves you, you break their heart.
Presenting Robert Mulligan's Blood Brothers. Richard Gere and Paul Sorvino star in Blood Brothers. On Bravo.
Yeah, you're right, Judd. There's no beach traffic.
Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
Certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Hey, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat like yourself.
That
Please,
dog is
no.
moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
Your shoes are pretty.
Could someone please fan me?
No.
Coca-Cola, anyone?
Yay!
Thank you, Alan, for serving a purpose in my life for the first time.
Like
You're very welcome.
I work Saturdays and Sundays. It's not a job. It's a dedication. I don't think you can teach someone to tune. You just got to practice until it's natural, just like breathing. There seems something mystic about it. So much beauty comes out of music.
Mellon PSFS, you're why we do our very best.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel brought to you by Busch Beer. With a break in the action, now's the perfect time for all thirsty sports fans to reach for the one beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch. By Nationwide Insurance, Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent and media is Russell Geiger. And by your local Dodge dealers. Come in today because we know how to help. Andy Musser with Kent DeColby at Mile High Stadium. Now the Phillies, who trail by 2 runs, lead by 1. It's 4-3 Phils. Dante Bichette to lead it off for the Rockies in the 3rd. He hit a 2-run home run his first time up. Bichette now with 75 runs batted in. Takes a strike. Bichette's the RBI leader of the team. Galarraga probably would have been, but he's been sidelined twice on the DL. Galarraga has 70 RBIs. Bichette, Hayes, and Clark to bat in the 3rd. Base hit. Bichette sends a lot of his hits the opposite way, despite the fact that we saw him pull that ball for the 2-run homer. But here he singles to right. Rocky hit number 5.
Another pitch in the area similar to where he hit the ball out of the ballpark. I mentioned the first time around he hooked the ball and pulled it into left field. This time just stays back on it and just slams it through the hole on the right side. Good job of hitting by Bichette. Mentioned all the doubles that he has. A large percentage of those doubles are balls that he hits just like that, only gets them up and hits them into that right center field gap. Of course, a lot of room here in Mile High Stadium, both in right center field and down the right field line, because of the fact, as we mentioned earlier, the outfielders having to play so deep.
First time tonight the Rockies have had their leadoff man on. Charlie Hayes has a hit. He's 1 for 1, single to center. And now it's the Phillies who are looking for a double play. Charlie batting at .302. Hayes has had a nice year. He established a career high in runs batted in when he got his 69th last night. 2 balls, no strikes on Charlie. Rockies with hits in every inning thus far. Ground ball to short, could get 2. There's one of them. Out at first base by a wide margin. The Phillies turn a double play.
Just what the doctor ordered. Get a man on first base. You get a nice firm ground ball hit to Kevin Stocker. Majority of the time you're going to get that double play, and that one turned neatly by the Phillies. Hayes out at first base by a large margin.
Base is empty with 2 outs. Gerald Clark lined out to Stocker first time up, stung the ball real hard. Clark, the Rocky first baseman, while Galarraga stays out. One ball, 1 strike on Gerald. Phillies lead at 4-3 in the third. You know, the Rockies have lost their last 8 home games here at Mile High. Right after the All-Star break, this team kind of forgot how to win. They lost 20 of their first 23 after the break. Two and 2 now on Clark. Two pitch. Chased it. Tommy Green gets his second strikeout. So for the Rockies in the third, no runs, 1 hit, no men left on base. And after 3, Phillies 4, Rockies 3.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Do you need a big horse? Do you need a deep tan? Do you have to have a saddle? Do you have to have the gear? Well, the simple truth is you just gotta have the beer.
Bush beer, an easy drinking Bush Light. Have you got what it takes to be a mountain man?
What does it take to live a mountain man's life? Get smooth Bush beer, is a drinking Bush Light.
This Dodge Dakota Sport comes with the Magnum V6, automatic, rear anti-lock brakes, and a price under $11,500. Cutting your choice of trucks down to 1. Dodge.
So don't miss the 93 model clearance now at your nearest Dodge dealer.
Right now, get $1,000 cash back on a very well-equipped Dodge Shadow ES. Hey, no.
Or take $2,000 off the top of a Shadow ES convertible during the 93 model clearance now at your nearest Dodge dealer.
The Phillies will be loaded for bear when they play Sandberg and the Cubs Monday, September 6th at 7:05. And Tuesday through Thursday, September 7th, 8th, and 9th, all at 7:35. Then they'll try to send the Astros into space Friday, September 10th at 7:35. Saturday the 11th at 7:05. And Sunday the 12th at 1:35 when kids 14 and under get a free backpack. Call 463-1000.
On Wednesday, August 25th, when the Rockies come to Philadelphia for their final series, we have our final business person special of the season. It's the final midweek ball game of the season, and all fans will receive a terrific Pride of the Phillies poster featuring the Phillies pitching staff, compliments of Mellon PSFS. And don't forget, it's the last chance to see the Rockies at the Vet this year. Make plans now to come out. Order your tickets easily by phone. Just call 463-1000 or stop by the Veterans Stadium ticket office.
And we go to the 4th inning of a game the Phillies lead by a 4-3 score. Dykstra takes a strike. Lenny has singled and walked in this game tonight, scoring once. He also has a stolen base. Tried to chip that shot into left field. 0-2 on Lenny. Well, he was 0-2 last time and wound up walking. So he's certainly a guy that doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes on. In fact, he's exceptional at doing so.
Yeah, Lenny, a guy who likes to work the count, likes to get the pitcher in the hole, but when he is in the hole himself, able to still stay patient, fight off the good pitches, and still work the count.
takes a ball. In the Rocky bullpen, Kurt Leskanik is throwing again. Sanford is due to bat next inning, so it could be that this will be his last inning of work. Grounded foul. Still 1-2 on Lenny. Got to tighten those gloves. That's a ritual. It doesn't mean that they loosen with a swing of the bat, but Lenny's become accustomed to doing that. Pitch is high. It's 2-2. If you're the opposition, you got to look at this guy and say he is pesky.
They probably say it in a little different terms that we can't use on the air.
I suppose that's true. I know we used to when he played for the Mets. There's ball 3. He's done it again. Second at bat in a row. It was 0-2 and then full count last time he walked.
Fouled off a couple, laid off a couple. Just keeps working and working. Never an easy at bat for the pitcher when Lenny Dykstra is at the plate.
Handles that one and pulls it foul. Got a great idea of the strike zone. I mean, he swings at the strikes and takes the balls.
And has that unique ability, much like Pete Rose used to have, that when you make the real good pitch on him, he just fouls it off. He never hits the ball weakly in play, or very seldom does. He just fouls it off and gets rid of it and makes you throw him another pitch.
There's a base hit for him. His second hit of the ball game. He's on for the 3rd straight time. Lenny Dykstra is putting on a show for the fans here in Colorado. They probably don't appreciate it, but they're seeing baseball's #1 leadoff guy.
Well, you foul him off, you get to finally to the pitch where you get a pitch you can handle, and when you get it, you drive it hard somewhere. Here he drives it hard on one hop just past Mejia into right field. Good hitters have the ability to hit the ball hard the majority of the time. Lenny Dykstra definitely has that ability.
Duncan tonight 0 for 2. He is fouled out and grounded out. Remember that the 2 times that Dykstra's been out there in the past, Sanford has made quite a few throws to third base. I'm going to keep my voice down so he doesn't hear me say them. Especially the first time. And Lenny with 1 stolen base tonight.
And for the 3rd time in 4 innings, the Phillies with the leadoff man on base against Sanford. Up, he heard you.
Yeah, he did.
Whisper the next time. Or maybe not even mention it.
I guess. 1 strike on Duncan. Pitch out. Now that time they gave up a pitch, so convinced that that Lenny would go. So much the better for Duncan. He now has a 1-1 count. No pitcher has had a 1-2-3 inning in this game. Breaking ball, and Duncan swings through it. 1-2. I think Sanford's got ice cubes under there. I really do. Because look how wet the brim of the cap is, and he's not that wet anyplace else.
You would think that water just dripping off the hat like that would be distracting. It's almost like, pitching from behind a waterfall. That's got to bother you. I'm sorry.
I think so.
The water constantly dripping off the hat, and then when he does that little head bob, then you get a real gush.
Duncan ground ball. Charlie Hayes has to back up, but makes the play to second. Safe at first is Duncan on the fielder's choice.
Charlie Hayes has to retreat on this ball just a little bit to get it. Once he's back there, Mejia knows that he does not have the chance for the double play, just takes the out at second base. Had he tried to complete the double play, Lenny was in good position to make it very difficult on him, to say the least.
Here's Kruk. He has walked and homered tonight. Homer was a high towering drive that when it left the bat didn't look like it was going to leave. It went to left field. Curveball for a strike. Phillies lead 4-3 in the fourth. Kruk coming into play today, tied for the lead in on-base percentage in the NL, .461. Another breaking ball. This one misses. Tied with you-know-who, Barry Bonds. Got Duncan over there now. Mariano has stolen 6 bases in 10 tries. High fly to left field again. And this time just enough to catch it. Honestly, those two balls look to be about identical, and the first one left the yard, and that one Young was able to get right at the fence.
Pitch up in the strike zone. Kruk again gets underneath it just a little bit. This time Young drifts back to the wall. Did not have to do the little dance along the wall. Just had his back against it, able to make the catch. So John, for the second time, high towering ball to left field. This one falls just short.
Dave Hollins. So that was a 366-foot out. Hollins has walked and lined to first. Duncan is safe.
Tell you what, if you're pitching in this ballpark, every time the ball goes up in the air in that direction, you got to hold your breath.
You know, that was the amazing thing, Teak, that nothing was hit hard in the air to left field last night. The balls that left here last night went to right field, which is not an easy home run.
No, not at all. 370 down the line, 400 in right center.
And how about dead center? 423 to dead center, plus a high batting screen. Hollins takes a strike. Well, Leskanic is still up in the bullpen, so undoubtedly there's a look at right field. This is going to be it for Mo Sanford. He is due to hit third in the inning, and they trail by a run. Big ballpark. Now, the new park they're building here will not be anywhere near as big as this, but because of the light air, they can't change that. It's still got to be an honest park. Going to be 350 down the lines in the new park. Well, that's 20 feet longer than it is most places.
Still going to be a big outfield. There's going to be, I mean, with the light air, it has to be, or else the place would be a bandbox. But it will be at least a little bit more symmetrical and a little more evenly shaped ballpark.
Hollins swings through a pitch. There's still no score in the San Diego-St. Louis game tonight. They've gone to the 7th inning, 0-0. Doug Brocale pitching against Donovan Osborne in St. Louis. The Giants won their game over Pittsburgh 9-6. Atlanta scored in the 9th inning to send their game with the Dodgers into extra innings, tied 4-4. Braves with an 8-game winning streak, and knowing now that they have to win tonight to keep pace with the Giants. They trail by 6.5 as of this moment. The Mets wallop the Reds 12-2. Runner goes. Hollins strikes out to win the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and the Phillies lead 4-3.
Major League Baseball home video presents...
We're back!
Now it can be heard, the sounds of baseball. This is the baseball video that puts you on the field to hear the game as never before.
Base hit, we got to take the lead right here. Take the lead. First inning.
You're going to put him in jail?
I'm not going to put him in jail.
Straighten the bat back. You never go. It up? He's not taking him. The guy standing in front of the base. Tommy, wait a minute. He's standing.
Host Tommy Lasorda takes you behind the closed doors to reveal the secret strategy in team meetings and some Major League Clubhouse practical jokes. Plus, candid moments with today's superstars. Now it can be heard.
Yeah.
Do you want to order?
Yeah.
Well, to order, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
For the price of basic transportation, the Mitsubishi Eclipse will take you way beyond basic. Now, for as little as $169 a month and $700 down, you too can drive away in a new Eclipse.
Escape basic transportation. Test drive an Eclipse at your 3-state Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
It's the last business person special of the year. Wednesday, August 25th at 12:35. The Phillies play the Rockies, and all fans get a handsome poster featuring all the Phillies pitchers' compliments of Mellon PSFS. Call 463-1000 now.
The forthcoming Phillies telecast tomorrow at 5 on PHL 17 against these Rockies. Then Friday and Saturday, both nights at 8 on PHL 17 from Houston. Hope you'll watch the Phillies on TV. 4-3, the Phillies lead the Rockies. Benavides leads off the inning and swings and misses. Bottom third of the order, and we're looking for a pinch hitter for Sanford. Another breaking ball. Benavides was out on a check swing back to Tommy Green the first time he batted tonight. Chased a breaking ball, 1-2. Last night, Vinny Castilla played shortstop and did a nice job. They had 3 infield double plays. And tonight, the shortstop job belongs to Benavides. Jammed him. One and two on Benavides. Hitting at a more than respectable 272. Here's Greg Harris. He was originally listed to pitch here tomorrow, but he will not be in this series. Struck him out. Green's third strikeout. Got him to chase a breaking ball.
And when Tommy's been down in the strike zone, he's been effective. This one here, a breaking ball down and away from Benavides, had him stretched out and extended. Took all the pop out of his bat. So when Tommy has been getting the ball down, it has been effective. But when he's been up, that's when he's had the problems.
Look out inside. Mejia got a single and scored a run for Colorado in the second inning. Darrell Boston moves into the on-deck circle to hit for Sanford. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Boston will pinch hit. A bunt, but he's going to be out because he bunted it. Oh, he's not either. Kruk bobbled the ball. He had the play right in front of him. Oh, boy. No way.
We mentioned the football being played. John down, and just as the ball got to him, the last hop came up and hit off the heel of his glove. Tried to corral it and bring it into him, but it looked like it hit one of those little small divots in the infield. John has been having some trouble defensively recently at first base. This ball, a playable ball, but it did take that last little hop that came up on him.
However, he is charged with an error, which I think is accurate, and the batter now is Boston. Boston pinch hitting, batting .246 with 9 homers, 25 RBIs. Boston has hit safely in 10 of the last 11. He was in the starting lineup last night. Mejia has not stolen a base. He's been caught once. Ball gets through, and Mejia will go to second base on a wild pitch. Second wild pitch of the night for Tommy.
See the pitch down and in. That should be called a pass ball. That ball was very catchable by Dalton.
Yeah, it wasn't really.
Fastball on the inside part of the plate didn't bounce before it got there. They may take a look at the replay and change that one. Whatever, Mejia moves to second base.
Breaking ball called a strike on Boston.
That's the bottom line. Here it is again. Very catchable ball. Should have been handled by Dalton.
Boston swings through. 1-2.
They scored at a wild pitch. I'm not quite sure I agree with that, but nonetheless, as I said, the end result, Mejia at second base, that's all that really matters.
And he represents the tying run. Phillies up 4-3. On the ground to shortstop. Stocker plays it. Boston is out. Mejia goes to third base. 2 outs in the inning. So Boston takes a seat, and the batter will be Eric Young. The Rockies left fielder has lined to center and walked. 0 for 1.
Well, we know there's one mistake in the inning by Kruk bobbling the ball at first base. Either the second one, either Tommy's or Darren's, depending on however you want to score that play. Tommy has a chance right now if he gets Young out to negate all of that.
That's right.
Becomes a non-factor.
And at anything the Rockies would get now would be unearned as a result of the error. There are 2 outs and there should be 3 out. Each team with 5 hits tonight, and the Phillies are riding a 4-3 lead. Can practically guarantee you that that will not be the final score in this ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Again, as we've noted all night long, Tommy's still having trouble with his control. That time, Dalton sitting on the inside part of the plate. The ball thrown low and away. Dutch having to reach across his body to make that catch. Makes it much more difficult on the catcher when the pitcher can't get the ball in the area that he's supposed to, especially when you throw as hard as Tommy Green.
Pitch just missed. Toronto with a 1-game lead starting play tonight in the American League East over the Yankees. And tonight, the Yankees have lost to Texas 4-2. And Toronto and Cleveland are in an extra inning game, and they are tied 6-6, bottom half of the 10th inning, Toronto and Cleveland. Toronto has gone ahead now in the top of the 11th, 7-6. Cleveland, playing at home, will have a chance to bat. Two and two on Eric Young. And it gets away. Here comes Mejia. He scores the tying run.
Well, no doubt about that one. That was a wild pitch there. Tommy again appeared to be the breaking ball, throwing it in the dirt well short of Dalton at home plate. Dutch does everything he can to try to get out in front of it and smother it, but see right here, the ball bounces back. The spin of the breaking ball causes the ball to bounce back into Dalton. Not able to trap it and keep it in front of him, shoots underneath his arm and goes over to the Rocky dugout, so now the game is tied.
Here's a ball lined to center field. Dykstra makes a nice recovery. That ball was almost over his head. For the Rockies, a run, no hits, an error, nobody left, and we have a 4-4 game.
Hazy sunshine this afternoon. High close to yesterday's 96 downtown.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You know he's not perfect, but on certain days in his life, he has been. The night he poured in 63 points. The time he crushed 3 home runs in the World Series. The day he found Dwight Clark in the end zone. And you wish at some point, at some moment in your life, you could be that perfect too. And that's why you cheer for him. That's why you believe in heroes.
The other day, these guys came to me and said, Kirby, how'd you like to be in a cross-training commercial for Nike? You wear the shoes, right? We could come film your workout. So I say to them, let me get this straight. You want to make a 3-hour commercial?
A right-hander, Kurt Leskanik, takes over now for the Colorado Rockies. He pitched on Saturday night in Houston. He took a line drive off his left ankle, hit by Steve Finley. The first batter he faced, he had to go to an area hospital following the game and had x-rays. They were negative. And you take a look at what Leskanik has done so far here this year. 1-5, 602. They used him as a starter in 6 games, and now this is his 6th game in relief. We have a 4-4 ball game. He's coming in an ideal spot here, Teak. He can pick up what you call a cheap win if things go his way.
Well, I'm sure Kurt would much rather come into a ball game, with about a 10-run lead in this situation when you come in the 5th inning. But in the situation right now, 4-4 ball game. This ball game is his. Sanford off the hook now since the Rockies were able to get the unearned run in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Two balls, no strikes on Dalton. Darren has struck out and walked tonight. Two and one. Dalton, Eisenreich, Thompson here in the 5th inning.
The line on Mo Sanford for the inning. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, 5 walks, gave up 4 runs, all earned. All in all, you probably have to classify that outing as sloppy. That's probably the best you can do with that one.
I was waiting for that summation. Dalton gives it a ride. It's a line drive foul ball off the fence. 2-2 on Darren, leading off the 5th. Phillies have had their leadoff man on in 3 of the first 4 innings. Ground ball hit to second base. Mejia backs up. I think this field will get you doing that. But Dalton is out, 1 down. The 1993 Phillies yearbook, the 45th annual edition, is now available. Colorful book featuring 72 pages of great photos, statistics, interesting articles. Here's the way to get it. Send a check or money order for $8. Includes mailing to Phillies yearbook, box 7575, Philadelphia 19101. Eisenreich, the batter, walked with the bases loaded, fly to right. Strike. One. Leskanik is a Pennsylvanian from Homestead, Pennsylvania. Graduated from Steel Valley, Pennsylvania High School, and then went on to LSU. High drive to deep right field. Eisenreich has hit a home run. His 6th home run, Jim Eisenreich. And the Phillies lead it 5-4.
Leskanik gets into that deadly down and in zone to a left-hander. Watch Jim Eisenreich. Their eyes all light up when you get the ball down there about thigh high on the inside part of the plate. That just puts them right into that uppercut zone. And even though it's 370 down the line, Eisenreich hits it about 4 or 5 rows deep. Phillies tied up in the bottom of the 4th. jump right back out in front here in the top of the 5th.
Thompson sending a roller down the first baseline. Clark is there, makes the play unassisted for out number 2. Leaving Thompson 1 for 3 thus far in the ball game, and Stocker will bat. Kevin Stocker had a big hit for the Phillies, a 2-run double back in the 3rd inning. Stocker 1 for 2, a strikeout victim his first time up there. Stocker gets in with the bases empty and 2 outs. Stocker hitting at .362. He takes a strike. Thinks about bunting. Nothing in 2 on Stocker. He's the same young man who was batting .238 at Scranton Wilkes-Barre when they brought him up. He was hitting primarily second in the lineup there. Struck him out. Leskanic gets a strikeout to end the inning, but the Phillies, well, you're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies get a run and take the lead on Eisenreich's home run. It's 5-4 Phillies.
Major League Baseball Home Video presents baseball's funniest bloopers. Hey fans, you'll be bowled over by this highly revealing romp. Then we'll sprinkle in some bite-sized fun, just enough to tickle your funny bone. Now, if you want to sink your teeth into baseball's funniest bloopers, just call this number and order. Baseball's funniest bloopers is 35 minutes of laughter and a whole lot of Major League mess-ups. So pick one up today. If you're a rookie squirt, ask for help. Ouch! If you're a Major League squirt, grab a pen and paper. Any paper. To order for just $19.95 plus $4 shipping, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
On completing the rear axle, see diagram 71. 9-inch gripping wrench. Tighten. See diagram 71. Secure the frame extenders to the housing mount. Congratulations. You built a tricycle. While the simplest things can be made complex, the challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile, with straight answers, clear explanations, and with no assembly required. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery, a participating advertiser in Phillies baseball. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by your local Quality Plus Ford dealer. Now is the time to save big on the best-selling cars and trucks in America during your Ford dealer's model year-end clearance. It's the bottom of the 5th here at Mile High Stadium. The Phillies are once again in the lead. It's 5-4. Girardi leads it off. He's been troublesome as usual tonight. He's knocked in a run and scored a run. He has walked and singled. 1-0 the count on Girardi. Tommy has not been able to retire him 1, 2, 3 in any inning yet. Key inning for Green, as always is the case for a starting pitcher. When your team leads, you get him out in the 5th, you have a chance to be the winner. Otherwise, no go. 2-1 the count. I guess that's always in the back of a pitcher's mind, isn't it, T?
Yeah, even no matter how much you try to put it out there and just keep on pitching your game. Girardi fouls the ball back. You know that the rules are set up that way, and you have to get through the 5th inning, and you have to have a lead and all that other stuff to be the winning pitcher. And you can, keep telling yourself, don't think about it. Just go out and keep pitching the way I'm pitching. Keep doing what I have to do. I know what I got to do to be successful. You can give yourself that lecture all night long, but you always know when it's the 5th inning. That little light goes on.
Bouncing ball to third. Hollins has his first play. And it goes by Kruk, rolls down the right field line. Girardi's going to run a while. He's heading for third base. He's safe. That'll be a 3-base throwing error on Hollins.
Dave Hollins gets this ball in plenty of time. A nice one-hopper, takes the extra crow hop, throws the ball strongly across the infield, but cuts the ball a little bit, throws it low and wide. First base, Jim Eisenreich hustling over from coming from way out in right center field, gets the ball back in, but Girardi just able to sneak his foot in ahead of the tag by Hollins at third base. So David Hollins again, we've seen it on a few occasions this year, has trouble making that throw across the infield, especially when he takes that extra time. It's almost as if he's better if he just grabs it and throws it right away without taking that extra hop in there.
That is Hollins' 20th error. He leads the Phillies. Well, we're early in the ball game, still on the 5th inning, so the defense infield stays back as Chris Jones comes up here. Phillies with a 1-run lead. Right field, base hit. It's a tie ball game. Chris Jones heading for second base. He's turning second, going to third. He is out at third base. Tie ball game, but Jones' gamble for the extra base does not pay off.
And a mistake by Chris Jones. The rules of base running never make the first or third out of the inning at third base. Jones thinks he has a chance to get 3 on this ball. Eisenreich does a nice job of getting the ball back in. Overthrows Duncan. Stocker backing the play up alertly, gets it to Hollins. Jones is out of there, so a mistake by the Colorado Rockies. It took a good relay, but you have to make sure on that play that you can get the third base standing up before you go with nobody out.
Dante Bichette, 2 for 2, home run and single, and he gets another hit. He leads the league in doubles. He's got at least 2 here. Let's see if he wants more. He wants more. And he's got it. He's got a triple, his second of this series. Dante Bichette tonight is now a double, his specialty away from the cycle. He has the single, the triple, and the homer.
Bichette, first time up, pulls an outside pitch, hits a home run. Last time up, base hit between first and second. Now gets another one out there, and we talked about that gap in right center field. Why he has so many doubles. This ball pins underneath the fence. Eisenreich has to go get it. By the time he's able to get it and the relay comes in, Bichette easily gets into third base. But that is the area that Bichette likes to hit the ball to. When he gets it in that gap in right center field, that's where all those doubles have come from this year.
Mike Williams is getting up in the bullpen. You've got to look at Johnny Padres visiting the mound, and there's a concerned skipper, Jim Fregosi. We have a tie ball game, and the Rockies are right in the heart of their order. Charlie Hayes is coming up. Well, the Toronto Blue Jays have won their game over Cleveland 7-6 in 11 innings. With the Yankee loss, they now lead by 2 in the American League East. Blue Jays by 2. Charlie has singled and grounded into a double play. Again, the defense will stay back. So the Phillies are going to concede a go-ahead run here because it's just the 5th inning. Ball 1. The errors started it all, but the double and the triple have been hard hit. Broken bat ground ball. It's going to get a run home. Stocker plays to first for the out. Bichette scores, and the Rockies now lead it 6-5. They pick up an unearned run to take the lead. Hayes gets his 70th run batted in. Sound like he broke his bat, didn't it?
Yeah, his fastball in on him. Just kind of wedged it out toward shortstop. Kevin Stocker got a little bit of a crazy hop. Able to get the ball over to first base, get Charlie Hayes out easily. But the Rockies now, after the Phillies take the lead in the top of the 5th, the Rockies bounce back with 2 and regain the lead in the bottom.
Gerald Clark. Well, we've mentioned that it's like Wrigley Field. No lead is safe, and that certainly is proving to be the case tonight. Clark lined to short and struck out. No balls and 2 strikes on Gerald.
You mentioned a second ago the concern by Johnny Padres and Jim Fregosi about the way Tommy Green is pitching tonight. You're not concerned about his arm. You're not concerned about his stuff. What you're concerned about is his location. For the second game in a row, having a whole lot of trouble getting the ball down in the strike zone consistently and making pitches when he wants to.
Inside 1-2.
Those two guys right there know that for Tommy Green to be effective, he has to consistently be down. Sure, Pods will spend some time with him between now and his next start, working on that.
Another play for Hollins, and this is over to first in time for the out. But the Rockies have come up here with a couple of runs. They do so with 2 hits, 1 error, nobody left on base, and they lead it 6-5.
Trust me, there are just some things you don't want to paint every year.
That's why Sherwin-Williams top-of-the-line Super Paint has a 20-year warranty.
And it's on sale now during the Super Sale-a-thon.
Interior and exterior Super Paint is only $16.99. Super Sale-a-thon ends August 28th.
So hurry. Like I said, there are some things you don't want to paint every year.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
It's like having a Phillies ticket window come right to your home. Call 463-1000 and reserve your tickets in advance. No rushing, no waiting, no hassle. 463-1000. It's like having a Phillies ticket window right in your home.
Here's a reminder about Phillies Dream Week for anyone that has been thinking about joining us for a great week of baseball next February in Clearwater Beach. The number to call for information and to reserve your spot on the roster is 215-938-1200. That's 215-938-1200 for Phillies Dream Week, where you can take the field with Tony Taylor, Greg Luzinski, Art Mahaffey, and Larry Boa, and a whole bunch of other Phillies. That's 215-938-1200 for Phillies Dream Week.
Tommy Green leaving the ball game. Mickey Morandini pinch hitting for him here with the Rockies ahead 6-5. And a tough night for Tommy. Get the earned and unearned run breakdown for you in a moment, but 6 runs on 7 hits. Morandini at 226, not playing a whole lot of ball lately. Mickey 3 homers, 25 RBIs. 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter, and that 1 hit was a home run. Three balls and a strike on Morandini, leading off the 6th. Strike 2 called. Bruce Ruffin is up in the bullpen, and there you can see Thigpen's up in the Phillies bullpen, Ruffin up in the Rocky bullpen. Grounded foul into and out of the Phillies dugout. Full count on Morandini. Leskonic with the 3-2 pitch. Off his shoulder, off the glove of Mejia. Safe at first base is Morandini. Probably be a hit.
Well, you mentioned Leskonic got thumped the last time he was out. Now all of a sudden he gets turned around. Mickey Morandini almost picks him off out there on the mound. He's going to start having the feeling he's got a target on his back or something. This ball here just barely gets by without, in fact, it probably does get a little bit of him.
Oh, yeah.
Mejia goes over and might have had a play had he been able to pick the ball cleanly, but it would have been a very difficult play once the ball was slowed down by Leskonic. Once it bounced away, he really shouldn't even have made that throw to first base.
Dykstra and a perfect night for Lenny. 2 singles and a walk. 1 stolen base, 1 run scored. Mighty cut by Lenny, who hit a home run here last night. It's foul back. The attendance tonight, 61,056. Slightly smaller than last night, but it's the 22nd time they've had a crowd here of over 60,000. The Rockies' average attendance this year is 58,380. Strike called, 0-2 on Lenny. He's been in the hole 0-2 each of his last 3 at-bats. Moving the excuse me, the second base umpire, Angel Hernandez, is moving from the third base side to the first base side of second base. Morandini is safe. Lenny has the average up to 303. Little chip shot, center field, charging hard. Jones makes the play. Dykstra out for the first time tonight. Morandini remains at first. That's out number 1 in the inning. Mariano Duncan will hit next. Mariano is 0 for 3 this evening. He's fouled out to the second baseman, grounded out into a force play at third, and grounded out to third again, where they made a force play at second. But Dunk with hits in his 13 of the last 14 Phillies games, and he came into the game tonight with a .417 batting average against the Rockies this year.
This type of ball game, one that's been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth almost since the onset. Both managers kind of looking for any pitcher that can go out there and put a little sanity into this ball game. And you're looking for somebody. Jim Fergosi's next attempt will be Bobby Thigpen, trying to get somebody that can go out there and restore a couple shutout innings to this thing. Give your club a chance to get out in front, rather than every time you get in front, you're behind by the time you come up again. You have to get back in front. Don Baylor on the other side looking for the same thing.
Pitches high. Could be an interesting outing for Thigpen. You know, Tiki's only been used twice, and both times they were 1-inning stints. We might see him for a couple here tonight, especially if he does what you say that Jim is looking for.
Yeah, if he's effective, I think he might get stretched out a little bit. I don't know, when he was with the White Sox, how many times he pitched beyond 1 inning. I think once he was moved out of that closer's role with the White Sox, probably started pitching a few more innings.
Ground ball to shortstop. They get one there. Gun to first. That's a double play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Go to the bottom of the inning with the Rockies leading 6-5.
Bravo. An exclusive selection of American independent and award-winning films. Bravo. Music, dance, and theater, from the classics to the cutting edge. Bravo. Bringing you backstage to meet today's hottest stars, top artists, and acclaimed filmmakers. Cable television's only cultural center for the dramatic and performing arts. Bravo. Culture Television.
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania, people are searching for new choices in health care.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
Seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Save now on every #1 selling Ford at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. It's Ford's factory authorized clearance. Now get a double rebate on America's #1 selling car, Ford Taurus. That's $500 cash back plus $500 clearance bonus for a total clearance cash back of $1,000. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Hurry. Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
Phil's return on Monday at Veterans Stadium to play these Rockies, a 3-game series, Monday, Tuesday nights at 7:35, business person special Wednesday the 25th, 12:35. Then following a day off, the Reds in for the weekend, Friday the 27th, Saturday the 28th, and Sunday the 29th on Jacket Day. Here's the number for your tickets, 463-1000, or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS Broad and Chestnut Streets. Phillies' newest acquisition, 30-year-old Bobby Thigpen, right-hander, takes over now for the Phillies, who are down by a run. Here's Thigpen, who has pitched in just 2 games for the Phillies. With the White Sox this year, he was in 25 games, 1 save, 5.71 earned run average. Phillies ERA 4.50.
The earned run average a little bit misleading in the fact that in the 2 innings that he's pitched, he's only given up 1 hit. Unfortunately for him, that rare inside the park home run was the one that he gave up. Usually it takes more than 1 hit with no walks to try to get a run in.
Bouncing ball to shortstop, charged by Stocker, makes the play. 1 pitch gets Benavidez, 1 down here in the 6th. Mejia will be the batter, and they're going to get their bullpen up, so chances are they're going to bat for Lesconic. Mejia has singled and reached on an error. He tried to bunt his way on, and Hollins, or rather Kruk, made an error on the play, and he came around to score on a wild pitch. Pop up back of second, digging hard. Duncan, he's there. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Can't do a whole lot better than that. Lesconic does have a bat out front now. Let's see, is he going to bat? He starts back toward the dugout. Doesn't look like it.
It looked like that was one of those situations. It looked like he was trying to convince somebody that he should. Don Baylor was having nothing to do with that.
Who is it going to be? It's going to be Alex Cole. So they have used up their left-handed batters off the bench. They only have 2 of them, Boston and Cole, and Boston was used previously. So Cole will bat. He was in the starting lineup last night. Cole will bat here with the bases empty and 2 outs. He's hitting at .263, no homers, 22 RBIs. He's 4 for 20 as a pinch hitter.
It was interesting last night watching Cole hit against Ben Rivera, hitting out of the leadoff spot last night. Every time that he was up, Rivera would throw him a curveball first pitch, and he did not offer at 1 all night long. It appears as if early in the count, all he wants to hit is fastballs and will not try to hit the breaking ball even early in the count. We'll see what Tommy Green does with him here this evening.
Or Bobby Thigpen, for that matter.
Excuse me, Bobby Thigpen. That's right, Tommy Green will do no more.
Thiggy has made 2 pitches in the inning. That's only his 3rd pitch, ball 1. Cole is from Clearwater, Florida. He lives in Clearwater. Takes a lot of pitches. Takes a strike here. He set a Cleveland rookie record when he stole 40 bases for the Indians back in 1990. He has been in several different organizations. Ground ball, and there's Duncan to close it down. Bobble, throw to first, got him. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bobby Thigpen. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. After 6 innings tonight, the Rockies hold a 6-5 edge on the Phillies.
If you're not watching Twin Peaks on Bravo, here's what you're missing.
Hi.
Who are you?
Laura was my cousin.
Laura had secrets. I know who killed Laura Palmer.
Twin Peaks. Fridays at 8 and Sundays at 10. Only on Bravo.
Give your kids a ride they'll never forget this summer. But really cool families prefer the tallest waterfall plunge ride in the world. Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom is where families go to have fun. Go play outside. You could spend this summer just doing the same old thing again. But really cool families become part of the action at Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom. It's where families go to have fun. Go play outside.
Discount coupons available at participating Wendy's restaurants.
My mama told me you better shop around. Shop around. You better shop around. My mama told me you better shop around. Shop around. You better shop around.
I always go to the shopping center 9 out of 10 people use.
The genuine New Jersey Belle Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Ballot Landing Company.
Okay, we're back here at the Mile High Stadium with the Rockies up by a 6-5 score, and Bruce Ruffin's coming on to pitch for the Rockies. He has made 2 appearances against the Phillies, one of which came last night. And he's pitched a total of 6 1/3 innings, unscored upon. Gave up only 3 hits during that time and walked just 2. So outstanding effort by Ruffin against the Phillies. Well, the Phillies' home team mustard player of the month for July was David West. He was 2-0 with an .087 earned run average in 20 2/3 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs, and he struck out 20. David West, the Phillies' home team mustard player of the month for July. He helped put his team on top. John Kruk will lead it off. Phillies are trailing by a run and now up against Bruce Ruffin. Kruk has walked, homered, and hit one that was caught at the fence in left field. Earlier this year, the Rockies tried Ruffin in the starting rotation. He didn't fare very well as a starter. He's become a pretty good bullpenner, certainly judging by his appearances against the Phillies. Ex-Phil Bruce Ruffin. He's 29 now, from Lubbock, Texas, with the Phillies from 86 to 91. Last year he was with Milwaukee. Ruff had only 1 winning year with the Phillies, his first. He was 9-4 that year. College teammates were Roger Clemens, Calvin Schiraldi, Greg Swindell at Texas. Two balls and a strike on Kruk leading off the inning. We're in the 7th, and the Rockies lead it 6-5.
That wasn't a bad little pitching staff that the Longhorns had down there.
No.
Some guys that made it to the big leagues and have been pretty successful.
Ball 3-1 on Kruk. Good inning for the Phillies to do something. They've got Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton, and Eisenreich and Thompson all coming up, and I'm sure that's why Don Baylor wanted a left-handed pitcher. He has only 2 in his bullpen, the other being Gary Wayne. The count is full on John. Ruffin is the 3rd pitcher used by the Rockies tonight. Their starter, Mo Sanford, went 4. Kurt Leskonik went 2. The 3-2 pitch. In the air to left. Another ball hit out that way. And another home run. John Kruk ties the ball game on his 2nd homer of the night. Number 12 for Kruk.
I know what's going through Kruk's mind right now. He's hit 3 balls to left field. 2 of them have gone out, 1 against the fence, and he's trying to figure out why they continue to pitch him outside. Kruk likes the ball away, has always hit the ball well to the opposite field. Girardi staying on the outside part of the plate again. Ruffin not getting it all the way out, getting it on the outside half. 1 more ball deposited in the left field stands.
Dave Hollins takes a curveball for ball 1 in the count. Dave tonight has walked and lined to first and struck out 0 for 2. That's a strike. It's 1-1. 3 home runs by the Phillies tonight. Kruk has 2. Eisenreich has the other one. The Rockies have 1 home run, a 2-run blow by Dante Bichette. All 3 of the Phillies' home runs have been solo blows. Foul away. So it's a 6-6 tie in the 7th inning.
All 3 home run solo blows. Both of Kruk's come leading off the inning.
And they're off 2 different pitchers. One off Sanford, one off Ruffin. And Eisenreich's came off Leskonic, so they're not picking on any one guy. Hollins strikes out on a good fastball. Ruffin humped up and threw that one by Hollins. That's the first out. And now Darren Daulton.
As you mentioned, good fastball by Ruffin here. Up in the zone. Actually got the ball by Hollins before he was able to get the head of the bat into the hitting area.
Now Daulton, he has struck out, grounded out. He also walked and scored. Daulton, Ruffin's former battery mate. Did you get worried when you pitched to old battery mates that they might have a handle on you?
No, because I always felt that I knew as much about them as they knew about me.
Oh, off Ruffin's leg, scrambles after it, throws it by first base. Daulton's going to second, and he winds up at second base on a screaming shot off Ruffin. It'll be a single and an error, I believe. Trainer coming out to have a look at Ruffin.
Ball appeared to hit off either the foot or the ankle. We'll get a good look at it here. Fastball away and up in the strike zone. Just as that back leg starts to come down, yeah, it catches right across the instep of Ruffin's foot. Knocks the ball down. He scrambles after it. Tries to hurry his throw to first base, and off balance throws it up the line. Clark, as you mentioned, normally an outfielder, not able to get to that ball. I don't think even if Galarraga was over there, he would have been able to make the play. Ruffin taking a little stroll now around behind the mound, trying to see if when those balls hit you like that for a second, you're going to go numb. It's just a shock to your foot, and you just got to walk around for a while, let the circulation get back in there first before you can really assess to see what kind of damage has been done. So Bruce taking a little walk around. Now they'll have another consultation with the trainer. Don Baylor also out there.
Ruffin charged with the error. He gave up the hit. So Darren Daulton gets a hit out of it and winds up at second base. We'll see whether Ruffin can continue. They immediately got the other left-hander that they have, Gary Wayne, up in the bullpen. Ruffin's going to take a practice toss here.
Yeah, what you'll be concerned about in this situation is the fact that the ball hit off of Ruffin's left foot, which is the foot that he pushes off the mound with. And if that foot is bothering him, then it's going to alter his delivery because he's just not going to push with that back leg. So he's going to take a couple tosses here and see what kind of feel he has in that foot when he pushes off the rubber toward home plate.
Appears to be normal, doesn't he?
Appears to be all right. He's convinced Baylor and the trainer that he's all right, so Ruff will remain in the ball game.
Ruffin's first error of the year, error number 1 on the Rockies tonight, and now Eisenreich will bat. Jim has 2 RBIs in this ball game. Got one on a bases loaded walk, the other on a solo home run. He's 1 for 2. So the Phillies have a go-ahead run at second base. 1 out in the inning. Bouncer on the right side. Clark gets an in-between hop. Ruffin has to cover just in time. Over to third goes Daulton. That was close. 2 outs in the inning. Milt Thompson will bat.
Ball coming off the bat appears to be a routine play. Clark with a good throw to Ruffin, but he's just a little bit slow getting there. Just able to get the foot in ahead of Eisenreich. Play a lot closer than it really should have been. Now you have to wonder if you're Don Baylor, what kind of effect did that ball have on him? Because Ruffin usually gets over to first base a lot quicker than that.
Milt Thompson 1 for 3. A chop single over the head of Charlie Hayes at third. Nice stop by Girardi. Ball 1. 6-6 game in the 7th. Last night it wound up 10-7 Phillies. Jammed, out of play. Ben Rivera went from the Phillies dugout to the bullpen and was on his way back. I guess he delivered a message, and he almost got nailed by that.
You have to keep your eyes open at all times.
Big Ben's quite a target.
You never know when one of those incoming missiles is coming your way.
In on Milt. He stayed with it. 2 balls and 1 strike. David West up in the Phillies bullpen. The reason that there's action is the Phillies want to be prepared to bat for Thigpen. Thigpen did a nice job, but he's due to bat hitter after next.
The way this ball game has been going, Jim Fregosi knows that any chance you get to add a couple more runs to the scoreboard, you have to take advantage of it.
Outside, ball 4. The ball escapes Girardi, but didn't go very far away, so Dalton doesn't go anywhere. Thompson has walked, and Stocker bats with runners first and third, 2 out. Phillies lead the league in receiving walks. That's the 6th one they've been handed tonight.
And what we're seeing tonight from the Philly ball club is what we've seen all year long from them. No matter what the opposition does, this club just keeps grinding and grinding and grinding away. Never lets up the pressure on the opposition.
Stocker with a big hit back in the 3rd inning, a 2-run double, and his other 2 at-bats he struck out.
Just keep the pressure on and keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And eventually what has happened a lot of times this year is they have just worn down the opposition, just plain flat worn them out.
Stocker on a soft bouncer to 3rd, foul ball. Stocker has a much higher average from this right side, batting .450 as a right-handed batter, .302 left-handed batter. Incaviglia in the on-deck circle to hit for Thigpen. Inky watching Kruk hit all those home runs to left field, wondering how come he didn't have a shot at doing that. Huh? Breaking ball, low and in. Girardi battled it 1-1.
Apparently, once Don Baylor was convinced that Ruffin is all right physically, Wayne sat back down in the Rockies bullpen. So right now it's Bruce Ruffin, nobody else throwing. So if Incaviglia can get to the plate this inning, he will get a chance to hit off of a left-handed pitcher, Bruce Ruffin.
Bouncer on the right side. It goes on through. Phillies take the lead. Dalton scores. Now they got a runner hung up between 2nd and 3rd. Thompson being run down, and he is tagged out to end the inning. But the Phillies take a 7-6 lead on a hit by Stocker, his 3rd run batted into the ball game. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies get 2 runs, 3 hits. There was an error, and 1 man left on base.
Bravo invites you to experience a powerful film. A tough but tender drama, full of emotion, full of energy.
You break everybody's heart. Everybody who loves you, you break their heart.
Presenting Robert Mulligan's Blood Brothers. Richard Gere and Paul Sorvino star in Blood Brothers. On Bravo.
Just isn't good enough.
Hey, that's super premium. Do you really think you need that high an octane for your car?
I don't know, but I do know this. I feel my car runs better on premium, and I have other things to worry about.
You don't take any chances, do you?
I figure if I put the best in, I'll get the best out.
So when good just isn't good enough for you, experience our best. Fly with the new superpower, Citgo.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with a Blue Cross Blue Shield health tip. At what age should your child see a dentist? First tooth, 3 or 5 years old? Most children have their first routine visit to the dentist by the time they are 3. By then, the dentist can determine that the child's general oral health is progressing normally.
Play that ended the top of the 7th inning. Single to right field by Stocker, and as Bichette comes up with the ball in right field, Milt Thompson making his turn at second base. Milty actually stumbled right as he got to the bag, was about 10 or 15 feet beyond the bag, right about where you see him here, and by the time he regrouped and got himself back up, was in no man's land. Just got run down in between the bags. Easily would have had third base as he came around second base hard. Did stumble and fall, so because the Phillies did not get Incaviglia to the plate, Bobby Thigpen still in the ball game. He will start now in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And he had a very, very effective 6th inning on a minimum number of pitches, got all 3 batters. Eric Young, the leadoff man, inside to him, ball 1. He's 0 for 2 plus a walk.
I'll say that 6th inning was efficient. It was the first 1-2-3 inning of the evening on either side.
The Dodger-Brave game is in the bottom half of the 12th inning, tied 4-4 in Atlanta. Roger McDowell is now pitching for Los Angeles. Steve Bedrosian is in there for the Braves. Earlier, Deion Sanders and Fred McGriff hit home runs. The Giants, of course, won their ball game 9-6 at Pittsburgh, so the Braves, who have won 8 in a row, need number 9 in a row to make sure they don't lose any ground. They're 6.5 back. A bunt for Young, but it's a foul ball, 2-2. Houston beat Florida 2-1. St. Louis over San Diego 4-0. Chicago beat Montreal 2-0. And the Mets walloped Cincinnati 12-2. Up the middle, Stocker can't get it. It's a base hit for Young, his first hit of the night. And the Rockies have their leadoff man aboard as they trail 7-6. It's just not going to be easy, is it, T?
No, a little fister here by Young. I think he gets the ball in on him real well, pulls his hands in, doesn't hit it sharply, but is well placed up the middle. Kevin Stocker just not able to get to the ball. Not hard hit, but efficient enough to get Young on first base.
And Young has 30 stolen bases. Now Girardi will bat. And Joe, in a sense, has a perfect ball game. He reached on a 3-base error by Hollins last time. Previously, he had walked and singled. He has scored 2 runs and driven in 1. And that's Moore up throwing for the Rockies. Marcus Moore, who was briefly in last night's ball game.
Now the pitcher spot not anywhere in sight for the Rockies this inning, so could be an indication that once Bruce Ruffin went back to the dugout after the inning, had a conversation with Don Baylor, that foot might be bothering him a little more than he initially thought it was going to. Those things have a tendency, once the feeling comes back, to start hurting a little more.
Around the bunt, Girardi gets it down. Hollins scoops it up, has the play at first. Oh, nice shift by Duncan. So it's a sacrifice for Girardi. Young to second base. Girardi makes a nice sacrifice bunt. Chris Jones will now come up. Jones is 1 for 3. It was an RBI double. On the American League scoreboard, Toronto leads by 2 in the East after an 11-inning 7-6 win over Cleveland. Meanwhile, the Yankees lost earlier to Texas 4-2. Milwaukee beat Oakland 2-1. Baltimore took Seattle 8-1. Boston beat Chicago 5-0. Kansas City over Minnesota 5-2. The Detroit-California game is in the 5th. Angels 3, Tigers 2. Fly ball hit to right field. Eisenreich is there. Makes the catch. Tagging is Young. He will go to third base. There are 2 outs. Dante Bichette will bat. By the way, in that Detroit-California game, Tim Salmon, the rookie, has 2 home runs, numbers 26 and 27 for Salmon. Well, Bichette is only a double away from the cycle. and he leads the league in doubles. But tonight he is homered, singled, and tripled. Big Pen to work from the windup. A little fish job, but Stocker's going to make the play. And down go the Rockies. No runs, one hit. They leave one after 7-6 Phillies.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn.
Mow the lawn.
What? Oh, guard dog. Oh, very scary.
Finally, the good stuff.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Mike's the first guy that ever explained life insurance in a way that we could understand it.
Making things clear is the part of my job I like best.
He showed us all the options that Nationwide has and even helped us choose.
It's training, seminars and updates. It just never stops at Nationwide.
With life insurance, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And we know Mike.
Agents like Mike are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Bud Light. Day in and day out, at home or on the road, you can always count on the great taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up and never let you down, so make it a Bud Light. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it, a Bell Atlantic company. Phillies have a 7-6 lead as we move to the 8th inning. Bruce Ruffin is staying out there for Colorado. Ricky Jordan will pinch hit for the Phillies. He'll be batting for Bobby Thigpen. .277 is Ricky's average, 4 homers, 11 runs batted in. He's had 13 pinch hits, 13 for 42 as a pinch hitter. David West up in the Phillies bullpen. A 1-run lead for the Phillies in the 8th. Oh, Ricky trying to get one up into that jet stream to left. Ball and a strike.
You mentioned Ricky, 13 for 42 as a pinch hitter, does have two RBIs, does not have a home run off the bench.
Strike, 1-2. A little tapper towards second. Mejia charges and gets Jordan. Well, that's one down here in the 8th. Now the top of the order. Dykstra has been on base 3 out of the 4 times up there tonight. 2 singles and a walk. Got him on a fly to center field last time. Ruffin faced Dykstra last time, one time, got him to fly out to right field. Ball 1. Line drive to the alley. It's in for another hit. Bichette picks it off, so that's a single for Lenny, his 3rd hit in the ball game. He is 3 for 4 plus a walk.
Comes into the game with a .300 average. Gets a fastball up in the strike zone from Ruffin. Just nice level swing. Right through the ball. Just nice solid line drive into right field. I'll tell you, guys like that have that kind of swing, very seldom do they get fooled, and majority of the time when they get the bat on the ball, even when they make outs, they hit the ball hard somewhere.
Gets away from Girardi, but Dykstra didn't see it right away or knew that it hadn't rolled far enough. He doesn't go. Duncan tonight 0 for 4. Last time up he grounded into a double play. A rare 0 for 4 for Duncan, who's been really hot lately. Marcus Moore, the right-hander, remains up in the Colorado bullpen. Lenny with 1 stolen base tonight, 2 in the series, 31 for the year. Dykstra goes, pitches high. He's in there. Lenny with his 32nd stolen base.
As was the last time, even with Ruffin the left-hander on the mound, Lenny gets a nice jump. This time goes in head first into second base. Girardi's throw for the second time in a row. Short hops. Benavides has to have his first concern be catching the ball. In catching the ball, it takes his glove up. Dykstra able to get down underneath that bouncing throw from Girardi.
Finally putting himself back together. You can tell he's been in a ball game. Look at the dirt on his arm.
That's the way a ball player should look.
A high bouncer back the middle. Dykstra stays at second base. They get the out at first. Lenny kind of spun his wheels there at second and turned around. He couldn't advance on that ball, so there are 2 outs.
Yeah, bad read by Dykstra on him. When you're on second base, any ball is hit other than back to the pitcher. This ball chopped well over Ruffin's head. You go ahead and go over to third base. Lenny just did not get a good read on this ball at all. There's no way in the world why he shouldn't have been on third base on that one. I'm sure you saw the conversation going on out there. He knows that he had made a mistake on that one.
Here's John Kruk. 2 home runs tonight. And another one that just barely missed. Caught at the fence and left. Both of his home runs out to left field. Kruk walked his first time up and then hit home run number 11 in the 3rd inning. And home run number 12 in the 7th inning. One ball, 1 strike. Phillies lead 7-6. They wouldn't mind seeing a few more up there. Two and one.
Mentioned earlier, all 3 of the balls that Kruk hit, the 2 home runs and the ball to the wall on pitches away. The last 2 pitches from Ruffin, fastballs in. Eventually you do learn.
Scooped up by Girardi. 3 balls and a strike. Marcus Moore. They're not comfortable right now.
Nobody was comfortable there.
No.
Kruk's gloves were messed up. Girardi wasn't comfortable with his communications with Ruffin. So Kruk steps out and fixes the glove. Girardi takes a trip to the mound. Get everybody back on the same page now. And action will continue.
Just off the end of his bat. That makes it a full count. It's a fine ball game for Lenny, but he's been able to cross the plate just once. Last night, Lenny scored 3 times. He's hoping that Kruk will drive him in here. John, 2 RBIs tonight, 64 for the year. Ball 4. He's aboard, and Hollins will bat, and now we'll see whether they go to the right-hander.
Well, it would appear to be the only reason why Don Baylor would have him up. Everybody else is coming up this inning left-handed. Baylor on his way out of the dugout, and he is going to go to the right-hander Marcus Moore.
Like to put Hollins on the left side when you can. The Phillies lead it by 1 run here in the 8th inning, so they're going to bring in Marcus Moore. It's an inning and 2/3 for Ruffin tonight. Pitching change here at Mile High Stadium. We'll be right back.
Mark for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System.
Batiste comes in the game to play third base for the Phillies. And the new pitcher will be David West. They will flip in the batting order. Phillies have a 7-6 lead as we move here to the bottom half of the 8th inning. David West done an outstanding job for the Phillies. This is his 56th appearance. He's 6th in the league in appearances. A 5-3 record for him and a nice 2.81 earned run average. West has 2 saves. Here's Charlie Hayes, 1 for 3 tonight, and a run batted in. Out of play down the right side, strike 1 on Charlie. Hayes, Clark, and Benavides to bat. Well, Teak, I guess we're looking at Mitch Williams time again, huh?
Well, we're getting there. We're closing in on it. Of course, the way this ball game has gone all night long, back and forth, and keeps changing. You never want to assume anything until you get there.
That's a strike. Charlie gave up on that pitch, and it was called a strike. 0-2. He didn't think so.
His opinion doesn't count.
No.
Only one that counts is Ed Rapawano's, and he said strike 2.
Charlie's got a little body language there that lets everybody know how he feels, though. No decision there. A fine 2 innings by Bobby Thigpen tonight. No runs, 1 hit. Jammed him. Charlie Hayes batting at an even .300. Charlie went to the All-Star game this year representing the Rockies. High fly ball, center field. Dykstra can play it. 1 out in the 8th. Hayes is out. Gerald Clark will bat. He is 0 for 3 tonight, although he had a line drive at Stocker back in the first inning that was so hard it staggered the rookie shortstop.
That out of Hayes, a big out. In this ballpark, you're always concerned about the home run. Hayes with 18 on the year. Also Bichette with 18 on the year. Those are the, if you do everything in sequence the way it should be, you shouldn't get back to their 2 big home run guys, and you should be able to finish this ball game if everything goes according to the way you lay it out.
Well, you just laid it out nicely. Let's hope it goes that way. Here's a pop-up, shallow right field. Duncan makes the call and the catch. Clark goes on a fly to right. Shallow right, caught by the second sacker, Duncan. And there were 2 outs. Freddie Benavides will hit. Benavides 0 for 3 in the game. They got him on a check swing first time up. Struck him out in the 4th, did Tommy Green. And in the 6th inning, he was batting off Thigpen and grounded out to short. Base is empty, 2 outs. Only once tonight have the Rockies gone in order. Low again. 2 balls, no strikes on Benavides. David West wants a different baseball. Try to get you a further report on that Dodger Braves game. Last we heard it was 4-4 in the 12th. Out of play. Two and two on Benavides. Well, the 8th inning generally belongs to West and or Larry Anderson. Andy had a little trouble here last night, his first trouble in a long time. If he was going to have it, I guess he picked the right game. It just enabled the Rockies to catch up a little bit and make it hairy at the end, but the Phillies did win 10-7. Ground ball to short. Stocker gets a crazy hop, cradles the ball, makes the play. Nice play by Stocker, and down go the Rockies in the 8th. We're going to the 9th, but the Phillies up 7-6.
In a game rich with traditions, Sherwin-Williams has created one of its own.
Go to the 9th inning, and Darren Daulton leads it off for the Phillies, who have a 7-6 lead. He'll be facing Marcus Moore. One of his pitches last inning was clocked at 96 miles per hour. Daulton tonight 1 for 3 plus a walk. Darren has scored 2 runs. The Atlanta Braves won their 9th in a row, a 12-inning 5-4 victory over the Dodgers. Fly ball left field, getting back is Young. And Young makes a play. How about Young? Wow. Here's a guy that was a second baseman earlier in the year.
Young just kept drifting back and back on this ball. Gets in position, not used to having the ball carry as much as it is. As you mentioned, just new to the outfield. Hasn't been out there all that long. Ball pins him up against the left field fence, but he does make the play.
Eisenreich, the batter, he has homered tonight. Also walked with the bases loaded, getting an RBI on that. He's 1 for 3. So to talk again about that NL West race, the Giants were 9-6 winners over Pittsburgh. Braves keep pace by winning their 9th in a row, and they continue 6.5 back. They got to wonder, how hot do you have to get to make up ground on those Giants?
Well, in the period of time where the Braves have won 9 in a row, the Giants have only gone 8-1. Pick up 1 game during that period of time. That's got to be frustrating, especially this late in the season when you know they have to start be scoreboard watching at this point in time.
Giants have some problems too. Saw where Darren Lewis had to leave the lineup yesterday with an injury, and they've been without Will Clark for a couple of days, who won't play at the earliest until tomorrow. But they seem to always find somebody to fill in.
Seems to really bother him, doesn't it?
1 and 2.
Dusty Baker, no matter who he plugs into that lineup, he gets production from him.
Well, we saw it earlier this year at the Vet when Thompson, the second baseman, was out, Robbie Thompson, and they plugged Scarsoni in there, and he had a career weekend. Eisenreich is out on a ground ball to Benavides for the second out of the top of the 9th. And here's Milt Thompson. Marcus Moore has come into the ball game and faced 3 batters. He's gotten them all. Moore gave up 1 hit last night, and Eisenreich got it. Now Thompson, 1 for 3 plus a walk. Into the Phillies dugout. Wow.
That was a screamer.
Sharply hit. Did it get the bat boy?
Looks like it got the bat boy.
Coop's going to take care of him. Get him right on the shoulder, looks like.
On the shoulder. It looks like he's already been hit once. He got the bad wrist, got the cast on his wrist. Now this foul ball from Milt. Milt looking over into the dugout.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Marcus Moore with a chance right here to do something that no Rocky pitcher has been able to do this evening, which is put the Phillies down in order.
That's right. Phillies have had hits in every inning of the ball game. That's a foul ball except the second, and there they had a walk. 1-2 on Milt.
Sanford got close in the second. He got the first 2 outs, but then walked Dykstra.
Bruce Ruffin is the fellow on the hook now for the Rockies in this ball game. He gave up the 7th run. 2-2. Thompson strikes out. Moore's first strikeout. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. The Phillies have got an order. It's last chance time for the Rockies. Phillies lead 7-6. Here for the 9th inning at Mile High Stadium, Andy Musser along with Kent DeColvey. Mitch Williams has come on to pitch for the Phillies. Mitch earned a save in last night's ball game, and he's in to try to get number 34 tonight. He's 5th in the league in saves. 3 wins, 3 losses, 2.68 earned run average, and this is his 49th ball game. Roberto Mejia will lead it off for the Rockies. He is 1 for 3 tonight.
You mentioned Mitch saving the ball game last night. It was not before. There was a little bit of excitement here, so it was not an easy save for Mitch last night, but nonetheless it goes in the books and the job was done. Hopefully the same results tonight, only a little bit quicker.
First pitch is low, a ball. Jim Tatum has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for Moore. He is leading the league as a pinch hitter. There's a strike.
As you mentioned earlier, in this ballpark, you're always concerned with the long ball, with the home run. Mitch in a pretty good situation right here. Mejia has hit 1. Tatum, who's on deck, has hit 1. Pitch just low.
And the leadoff hitter, Eric Young, has hit 1.
And Joe Girardi has hit 1. So not exactly the long ball threats coming up this inning. So try to get these guys out of there before you get to the guys that can hit the long ball.
Into right field. Eisenreich has it lined up. Out. Mejia is out. 1 down in the 9th.
1 down, 2 to go.
And now a dangerous hitter, Tatum. Tatum leads the league with 17 pinch hits, batting .298 as a pinch hitter. Tatum hitting .230 for the year. 1 homer, 11 runs batted in. Tatum played right in this ballpark last year. He was the American Association MVP playing here for the Denver Zephyrs last year. We mentioned he has 17 pinch hits. The record for pinch hits in a year is 25. That was set by Jose Morales of Montreal back in '76. 1 strike on Tatum. You got to always think you're going to tie the game or go ahead, or of course in this case if they go ahead they win it, but if they tie the game, they've got Darren Holmes up in the bullpen. He didn't think that was a strike. The crowd didn't think it was a strike, but it's 0-2.
Mentioned Darren Holmes up in the bullpen. He is the stopper for the Colorado Rockies.
And he also pitched here last year. This was a Milwaukee farm team last year. He's out of there. Tatum called out on strikes, and he is not happy. Not happy at all.
Appeared to be 3 straight breaking balls from Williams. This one here, the 3rd one. Well, I'll tell you what. If it wasn't a strike, Dalton was out of the strike zone with his glove because Mitch put that one dead center.
Eric Young, 1 for 3 tonight plus a walk. Ball.
Mitch stumbled as he landed on that pitch. Always right on the edge. This time the front foot you see slips out from underneath him as he throws the ball.
Yeah, just gave way on him.
Just hit a soft spot on the mound and that front foot slid. As far as Mitch extends himself when he throws, that type of a slip is very dangerous. Very similar to the type of slip that Tommy Green had when he pulled that groin muscle.
That's low. 2 balls and no strikes on Young. Phillies lead 7-6. They need one more out. Strike. A breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1. Ball 3. Girardi on deck. Strike. 3-2. Little bit low. Eric Young walks, and the Rockies have the tying run on base with 2 outs. So Girardi, a former battery mate of Mitch Williams in Chicago, will get a chance to bat. Girardi is officially 1 for 2 tonight. He has also walked and sacrificed. He has scored twice and knocked in 1 run.
Mentioned Girardi with only the 1 home run, not a whole lot of power. Don't be surprised if Eric Young at first base takes off. Has stolen 30 bases this year.
Here he goes. Didn't take long, did it? Number 31 for Young.
Steals without a throw. Got a real big jump on Mitch that time. Darren Dalton didn't even make a throw. As soon as Mitch took that leg back, Young was off. And when he gets that kind of a jump, no use even trying to throw, goes in standing up at second base. So now power is not necessary. Just a base hit to score Young from second base.
And Girardi has really been a thorn in the side of the Phillies. Hits a lot of balls back up the middle. That's where he got his hit tonight. 2 balls and no strikes on him. Darren Dalton walks the ball back and meets Mitch halfway. Well, they look relatively relaxed, and I use that term relatively with a little emphasis on it.
Fergosi, the master at being able to have his stomach churning on the inside and yet not show it on the outside.
Yeah. He swung. He didn't want to.
2 balls, no strikes. Girardi guessing fastball all the way. Mitch threw the breaking ball down out of the strike zone, but Girardi had already committed. Swung at a bad ball.
Foul ball, and it's 2-2 now. Mitch Williams seeking save number 34. Mitch Williams' career high in saves is 36. He did that with the 89 Cubs. He got into 76 ball games that year, leading the league, and his ERA in 89 was 2.64. Full count. Jones on deck. So So back-to-back walks after the first two batters were retired. And Jones will come up. Chris Jones 1 for 4 in the ball game. It was an RBI double back in the 5th inning. Jones got a hit off Mitch Williams in the 9th inning last night. He was used as a pinch hitter, and he singled to center field last night. So the Rockies have both a tying run and a potential winning run on base here with 2 outs.
If you go past Jones, it doesn't get any easier. Dante Bichette on deck.
Foul ball, strike one, and it got Rapuano. He goes down to one knee. The home plate umpire got felled by that one. Jones has some power, 5 home runs, 2 of them in one game against the Phillies this year. 1 RBI tonight is 27th. Bouncing ball to shortstop. Stocker to Duncan. The game is over, and the Phillies have taken the first 2 in the series. Mitch Williams earned save number 34, and the Phillies prevail 7-6. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel.